On today's episode, an innocent child needs a life saving operation, and his guardian angels come in the form of a disillusioned priest, a scummy bail bondsman, a drug addled maniac, and a clown named Bananas. We watch 13 Moons, starring Steve Buscemi and a whole ton of other people, as our Coen Brothers character actor miniseries continues today on Nothing Movies. The concept of 13 moons refers to the traditional indigenous understanding of the lunar cycle and its connection to the natural world, often used as a way to track time and seasons. Many indigenous cultures, including the Anishinaabe and Ojibwe, recognize 13 full moons in a year, represented by 13 distinct names and associated with natural events and teachings. The turtle's back, with its 13 large segments, is a common symbol for this 13-moon cycle, representing interconnectedness and balance. Or as this one fucking guy in this movie says, it must be the 13 moons or something. It's something my mother used to always say, whenever she expected trouble, there must be 13 moons out, or some bullshit like this. I just wanted to provide a little context for the discussion we're going to have in a few minutes here, and just sort of highlighting the fact that I don't think the writer of this movie ever knew what he was talking about.
We watched 13 Moons starring Steve Buscemi today on Nothing Movies.
I wasn't doing the
intro.
You
weren't?
Oh. No, but I'm including this now.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't doing the intro. I was doing... This was supposed to drop after the theme music.
Oh, because I was gonna say, man, this is a really drawn out intro. I've seen the trailer for this movie, and it's maybe 15 seconds long.
Any of the 15 seconds indicate that the plot of this movie was going to be little Timmy needs a kidney transfer?
God, no.
That fucking came out of nowhere.
All the promotional material was just front loading it with Buscemi and Peter Dinklage.
I mean, that's the marketing for this movie. That's how you want to sell it, and sold it. They did to some people, I want to assume.
To wild acclaim. No, that's a damn lie.
All of this is staying in, by the way, and welcome back, however you wish to self-identify, to Nothing Movies, where we ask the question, the fuck is this? It's the podcast where we go through an actor's filmography and choose the most anonymous and culturally untalked about movies that they've made, and decide whether or not they've got a certain something, or if they're just a whole hell of a lot of nothing. I'm Kaz Lesgard.
I'm Jameson Rafter.
And we're continuing our mini-series on the Nothing Movies of Coen Brothers character actors, and today we're looking at another big one, the beloved Steve Buscemi, an actor who, the more I was thinking about it, really is on the same level as Nicolas Cage. I think, just in terms of, he's in so many movies, specifically movies that everyone likes, and he's always terrific in them, but in addition to that, he's just such a fascinating individual. He's just such an interesting guy.
He's certainly that. He doesn't have the meme lord factor that Nicolas Cage has, but you're right. Everybody loves Steve Buscemi. My mom loves Steve Buscemi. Every time she sees him in a movie, she's like, oh good, it's him.
Yeah, I feel like that for the longest amount of time, that was his legacy. His legacy was, oh good, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Steve Buscemi is one of those atypical character actors that people who maybe don't even realize what the term character actor means, it's shorthand for it. If you're talking to somebody and maybe they don't really understand that term, they're like, what does character actor mean? You could literally just say Steve Buscemi, and they'd be all like, oh, I understand what you're trying to get at now. All right. It's a guy who shows up, has a couple of killer scenes, kind of walks away with the movie, but isn't always the center of attention.
Sure, yeah. No, I agree. Whether he's playing a criminal or a cop or something like that, or a professor, he can slip him in any role.
And he's not a meme lord like Nicolas Cage. He does have one meme.
I know he does.
Everyone
knows the meme that
everyone knows the one meme, and as long as you have one, then that makes you immortal, basically, in the eyes of popular culture.
Yeah, I'm sure people don't even remember the context of that 30 Rock episode. I'm sure people don't even realize it's from 30 Rock, but yeah. It's a good one.
They just assume that Steve,
As I get older, that meme gets more and more relevant to me.
absolutely.
Mhm.
They just assume that Steve Buscemi woke up one day, chose to dress that way, and then just walked into a random school
I need
for
a
whatever reason.
I need a shirt that says music band in the AC/DC font, just for the hell of it.
Steve Buscemi. So
Yeah.
there's so much backstory to go into this guy, but before we delve into that, do you want to share your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Mr. Stevie B? We're talking about the 2002 movie 13 Moons.
Right.
That was implied by my diatribe about the turtle,
Yeah.
or whatever. But we'll get into we'll get into that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Stevie B?
I love the guy. That's really it.
That's really all you have to say.
No, there's like a small handful of roles that I would just say like, yeah, the movie wouldn't be the same without him. Even minor supporting stuff, I'm glad that they earmarked him for those parts. He's in the same category as, appropriately enough, John Goodman, as just like the kind of supporting actor or a leading actor in certain cases where it's like, yes, this role suits him like a glove. You can't imagine anyone else filling in those shoes. And he's also got just a Swiss Army knife of skill sets. You know, he can do the heavy dramatic stuff. He can do the lighthearted comedic stuff. He can do everything in between. He's got like some voice acting credits under his belt.
Yeah.
He's just like the consummate working man's actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now that you say it, I do actually think John Goodman is maybe the more apt comparison. I mean, like Nicolas Cage, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, just three guys that we love.
Yeah.
Just love to see in things. All have appeared in a Coen Brothers movie at one point
Yeah.
in time. But yeah, like you say, much like John Goodman, he is adept at on-camera stuff. He's adept at both film and television. He's had multiple TV shows.
Yeah.
He does voiceover stuff. And rudely, much like John Goodman, has never been nominated for an Academy Award.
Well, he'll get the Lifetime Achievement one for sure.
At one of these days,
He'll have
they'll
to.
have to do that, or he'll just get like some plum role in his 70s as like someone's grandpa, and they'll just be all like, we can't not.
Yeah.
We can't not give it to Steve.
And yet, like, they could have done that at any time throughout, like, from the 90s onward, because he always kind of looked like someone's grandpa. Which is, I think, a dig he would appreciate.
Look, he is somebody that immediately strikes me as someone who knows what he looks like, and moreover has found a way to monetize the way he looks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's gone quoted as saying that like dentists have like talked to me at parties and said, I can fix that, and he's all like, no, I will stop getting cast if you fix my teeth and my. And he is somewhat of a meme because there is like the sort of like the unfortunate memeing of the whole Buscemi eye type situation where you will see other photos of other people given Buscemi's eyes and teeth, and it's
and
like,
you would look at some of those, and it's like this beautiful Hollywood starling. It's like, oh, it looks better on her.
sure, yeah. On the one hand, yeah, it's always mean when you're mocking someone's appearance, but Steve Buscemi is someone who has come to terms with it. I will assume, and
has led the charge in many other
absolutely.
cases. Yeah,
This is how you get cast in things. This is how you become one of the most recognizable character actors in the biz.
this is how you become so likable.
Well, he's also likable because he's likable. He's also a genuinely lovely guy.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, everyone goes to bat for that one story of his where, like, he was a former firefighter, and then he
that's the very first thing that I want to get into.
straps the
So,
boots back on as soon as 9/11 happened. Like, good for him.
let me breeze through this really quick. So, Steve Buscemi, born in Brooklyn, one of four brothers. He graduated in 1975 from Valley Stream Central High School in the Long Island village of Valley Stream, which later would be the setting for his debut as a writer and director in 1996's Trees Lounge. In 1977, before he ever started acting. I mean, he took acting in high school and college, but...
Sure.
In 1977, he took the New York firefighter's exam and joined Engine Company 55 for 4 years. And yes, as you mentioned, following 9/11, he rejoined Engine 55 to help with search and recovery efforts at Ground Zero. He worked 12-hour shifts searching for survivors. He's spoken about how the experience has deeply traumatized him. So, first and foremost, let's just get this out of the way here. On top of everything else that he has done in his career, Steve Buscemi is also a hero.
A genuine, bona fide hero.
Which I'm sure he
he
probably
he
feels
talks the
on-
talks, he walks the walk.
I'm sure he probably maybe he wears that with a little bit of like good nature and empathy, but it's all like, no man, you volunteered the day after 9/11 to go look for people.
Yeah.
Like no one forced you to do that.
Long
That is-
after he retired
you
from
did
that,
you
yeah.
did that out of the goodness of your heart and your principles. And like that's an amazing story about heroism in New York after a horrible tragedy. You would assume that maybe had a nicer ending, but in 2003. He was arrested along with 19 other people while protesting the closing of multiple firehouses, including number 55. So that's fucking great, New York. That's a great way to treat the fucking first responders.
Oh,
That like literally were like digging people out of the rubble and everything.
oh, sadly, it doesn't end there. I'm sure you're familiar with the big campaign that Jon Stewart went on, the Big Crusade.
During Bloomberg's term, right?
yeah.
When Bloomberg closed even more firehouses, and it's like 9/11. Shouldn't there be more firehouses? Isn't this proof that it's all like, we need to support the firehouses that we have and start pumping money into them rather than like cutting them and just hemorrhaging all of like the...
If you want to ensure that there are more firefighters, maybe take care of the firefighters that you already have. Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. But he's been a vocal advocate for first responders and has served on the board of Friends of Firefighters, which provides mental health support. So, yeah, and he's starred in multiple documentaries about this. I just think this is a fascinating side career for one of our greatest character actors. He also has like this altruistic double life, literally saving lives.
Yeah.
So, yeah, gold star right off the bat. Okay. So when Buscemi started acting, he was big into the 1970s New York no-wave scene.
Okay.
Which was an avant-garde music and visual art movement that was described as abrasive, confrontational, and nihilistic. So sort of a response to the new wave that was coming out at the time.
Okay.
It was sort of and sort of like a response to like the punk era, which started off as very anti-establishment, but around that time, a lot of critics were saying that it had become very corporate. Very like invaded by the studios or whatever. So there was like this little mini art movement that was happening around New York at the time that was just all like, this is what real art is, man. Fuck you. And the horse that you rode in on.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the gritty 1970s era of just like, the forefront of De Palma and Scorsese and all that.
So I feel like everyone who is like even mildly into film has an idea of what independent cinema is. Researching Steve Buscemi helped me realize there's independent cinema, and then there's independent cinema, which is really where Buscemi got his start. It was
Gotcha.
like micro-budget, black and white, 90-minute movies that have never had a proper home video release and have maybe been seen by like 50 people.
Yeah, one screening at like a theater house in like the middle of Chelsea or whatever.
So before movies, he regularly performed at the Pyramid Cocktail Lounge as part of a duo called Buscemi and Boone, alongside lifelong friend Mark Boone Jr.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Pat Boone.
No, I don't know if there's any relation. Mark Boone Jr., most people probably remember as Detective Flass from the Batman Begins movie. I don't know why I don't know why I worded it like the Batman Begins movie, the movie where Batman began.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, he's the guy who gets dangled over the side.
Yeah, swear to me, I get
Swear
you.
to me,
Yeah.
yeah. There they did experimental black comedy skits while Buscemi continued to do stand-up comedy and theater on the side. His debut film is 1985's The Way It Is, which co-starred Mark Boone Jr. and other indie film darlings like Vincent Gallo and Rocket's Red Glare. A name that came up a bunch while I was researching Buscemi. Rocket's Red Glare was this sort of like anti-establishment comedian / drug dealer in the 70s.
That tracks, yeah.
That appeared in like a ton of movies. Has like this fascinating history. Was with Sid and Nancy the night that Nancy overdosed.
Oh.
And has appeared in like a bunch of movies with these guys. Has appeared in a bunch of movies with Steve Buscemi. And weirdly enough, we'll get to it. Today's movie, 13 Moons.
Oh, I think I remember seeing their name in the credits.
Yes,
and that was
13
like,
Moons ends with a dedication to a bunch of people, which we will get to.
Well, a bunch is an understatement.
One of whom is Rocket's Red Glare. Rocket's Red Glare has the film 13 Moons dedicated to them. But yeah, well, the tail end of episode, we're going to bring that back here. The next year, he's in the landmark queer film Parting Glances, which was one of the very first films to depict AIDS victims and the impact on the gay community during the Reagan era. Again, like, not like a massive film that a ton of people have seen, but like if you're reading a book on the history of blank cinema, if you're reading a book on the history of queer cinema, this is a very important film.
Okay.
The rest of the 80s is a slew of indie cinema and TV parts in shows like Miami Vice and The Equalizer. This is where I am going to start getting selective.
Okay, great.
Truly, if I went through the entirety of Steve Buscemi's filmography, we would be here forever. So I am cherry picking. There will be things that I will leave out of his filmography.
For you, the listener, to fill in the blanks for.
Absolutely.
And do your own research and then come to us with your report.
Yes, absolutely. And hey, listen, if we missed out on saying your favorite Steve Buscemi movie, write in to
Kaz
778-2842. I don't know why I gave you a phone number. Some highlights.
I'll blank it out.
Some highlights include the iconic Western miniseries Lonesome Dove.
Oh, yeah.
He's in every episode of that. He's in the Martin Scorsese directed segment of the portmanteau film New York Stories, aka the good part of that very not great collaboration between Scorsese, Coppola, and Woody Allen. And he's in the short Jim Jarmusch film Coffee and Cigarettes 2, which would later be re-edited into the longer portmanteau 2003 film Coffee and Cigarettes. So when you're watching that, when the Steve Buscemi thing comes up, that was shot in 1989.
Okay, for the sequel, are you talking about like a re-edit where they took in the best part of the sequel and just shoehorned it into the first one?
No, so what happened is Jim Jarmusch made 3 short films, titled them Coffee and Cigarettes 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
And then he took those 3 movies, re-edited them, and then shot like 20 more short films, and then edited that into a big movie. I like that movie. That movie's really good. Now we're into the 1990s, which is where Buscemi really starts to soar. 1990 is his first collaboration with the Coen brothers, Miller's Crossing, where he plays the role of Mink.
Love Miller's Crossing.
A great movie. He's only in it just for the briefest of moments, and then he shows up later as a corpse. Spoiler, a lot of people show up as corpses.
Oh, yeah.
He also appears in the great Abel Ferrara film King of New York. 1991, his second appearance with the Coens, he's the friendly bellhop Chet in Barton Fink.
Yeah, just another one of those, well, I mean, we've talked about Barton Fink many a times on this show. It's the one character that I don't really have a lot of, like, lingering questions about. The bellhop is just like, he's the creepy guy who works at the derelict hotel, and
not every character needs layers.
Nope.
Sometimes, and you know what? That's often why you hire Steve Buscemi, because he brings more to the role than is on the page.
Yeah.
And that's a great example of that. So 1992, I would argue, this is the film that really introduces him to audiences. You know what it is. It's Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. He plays the role of Mr. Pink. I mean, like, I've already named a handful of his most regular collaborators. He works with the Coens a bunch. He works with Jarmusch a bunch. He works with Quentin Tarantino, obviously, more than once. I believe he's in more than one Abel Ferrara. So yeah, directors love using him. They will keep finding reasons to put them in their movie.
Well, yeah, because he's a reliable talent. As we were saying before, he's just like such a strong character actor. He can do anything. He can do it all. Yeah.
And he's so memorable in Reservoir Dogs, a film that's just full of memorable performances.
For sure, yeah.
But anyway, 1993... I wrote down a couple of roles. I wrote down any role that he has like a fun name.
Okay.
He's in the Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes movie Rising Sun.
You mean Rising Sun?
Rising Sun.
Right, yeah, okay.
Playing a character named Willie the Weasel Wilhelm.
Willie the Weasel Wilhelm.
I haven't seen it, but I would give anything to watch Connery call him, "Where's Willie the Weasel?"
Weave his way through that one. Yeah, gotcha.
Wherefore, Willie? 1994, he's back with the Coens. Very briefly, he plays a beatnik barman in The Hudsucker Proxy. He's also back briefly with Tarantino in Pulp Fiction. He plays Buddy Holly as a waiter.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't play Buddy Holly. He plays a waiter who is taking on the role of Buddy Holly.
Sure, yeah. In one of those, like, theme restaurants. And man, does he just draw the eye in that scene. Because, like, oh, it's Steve Buscemi right in the middle of this. And Oh, there he goes. Bye.
There he goes.
Thanks for coming by.
Drawing the eye in a scene with John Travolta and Uma Thurman of all people. But yeah, no, you can't take your eyes off of him. Also in 1994, I couldn't not mention previously reviewed The Search for One-Eyed Jimmy.
Yeah, good thing we mentioned that one again.
Okay, but also in 1994, a big year for him. A seminal film, even though I don't necessarily think it's all that well remembered. I've definitely seen it. I've definitely enjoyed it. But this is a very important film in his filmography. It's the 1994 comedy Airheads.
Oh, yeah, with Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler.
And
the
reason why this is significant...
Because it brought Sandler and Buscemi together?
His longest running collaboration.
Yeah.
It has always kind of quietly blown my mind that Adam Sandler... You know, like, he makes all of these comedies, and he has his stable of buddies, and like a
lot of them are like SNL alums when he was on the show.
A lot of them make sense. A lot of them are like jokey comic guys, like Kevin James or whatever, and then just nestled among them is just good actor Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
who, and I went down the list, has been in most of those movies.
Yeah.
He really has.
It's one of those awesome celebrity real friendships, you know? I couldn't see it, but man, they've just found like a kindred spirit with each other.
The story you always hear about Sandler is that he's just like the nicest guy in the world, which is why everyone wants to work with him and everyone wants to hang out with him. And I guess just him working with Buscemi early on just cemented that. Interestingly, Sandler and Brendan Fraser have never worked together again, so I can only make assumptions here, but it's like, yeah, those two went off to the races. So Airheads in 94, the very next year is Billy Madison, which is Sandler's first leading movie role. This, like, we're going to sell an entire movie on the back of this guy. I would argue, out of all of Buscemi's Happy Madison performances, that's still the most memorable one.
I disagree. It's still a great scene where, like, you know, he's calling up all the people that he used to make fun of in high school. The first person he calls up is Steve Buscemi.
I mean, it's the one that everyone remembers.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, no worries. Take care. And then Buscemi crosses him off the to kill list,
and then applies lipstick to himself.
Exactly.
It's a great one scene for him. He doesn't come back. They don't lay him on thick, which they will do in other Happy Madison movies.
Well, I would say the one standout to me is when he plays the hobo in Big Daddy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. You know, the street bum, and he's well aware of when McDonald's stops serving their breakfast menu.
He would know better than anyone. He's on the streets.
He's super helpful, and he's just got like they just accentuate crazy eyes for him. But yeah, he's a thrill. He's a laugh a minute in that one for me.
Okay, so because his filmography is so lugubrious.
Wow.
I really did try to fit that in and also pronounce it correctly. Jury's out if I succeeded or not. I'm going to quickly run down all of Steve Buscemi's Happy Madison performances. I grouped them all together, just because if I kept mentioning them in the order they would get released, we would be here truly all day. So yes, in order: 1995, Billy Madison; 1998, The Wedding Singer, where he plays the drunk guy at the wedding who, at the end of the movie, becomes Adam Sandler's wedding singer. You mentioned that he had crazy eyes in Big Daddy. In 2002, he's in Mr. Deeds, playing a character named Crazy Eyes. So I don't know if you're conflating the two of them, or if maybe they just decided to give him even crazier eyes in that one.
Or I just haven't seen Mr. Deeds.
My
money's on I haven't seen Mr. Deeds.
I was about to say you and everyone else, but I'm thinking back on it. It's all like Mr. Deeds made an insane amount of money, so not good though. 2007, he's in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. The annoying thing about that is he's playing the mean antagonist that's trying to uncover their deception and prove that they're not a gay couple. But Sandler and James in that movie playing firefighters. That feels a little rude to Steve Buscemi to not let him play a dang firefighter.
Maybe he gave him notes.
I'm sure he did.
And I'm sure Adam Sandler took that to heart.
And it's like, yeah, we'll put that in there, Steve. Yeah, definitely. He's in Grown Ups 1 and 2. He's in all 4 Hotel Transylvanias, including the most recent one that even Adam Sandler isn't in. He's in The Ridiculous 6. I believe, if memory serves right, I believe he gets covered in donkey feces in that one.
Yeah, that sounds about right for an actor of his caliber.
He's in The Week Of. Some of these are Netflix shit that I've never even heard of. He's in Hubie Halloween. He's in movies with other Happy Madison guys, like Chris Rock's I Think I Love My Wife and Rob Schneider's The Chosen One. And he's even in The Cobbler, which isn't a Happy Madison movie. It's just a movie that Adam Sandler is an actor in. So he can't stay away from the guy. He loves him. them.
Yeah.
They'll always sign up for a Sandler joint, no matter how terrible it is, and most of them are usually terrible.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a fun day on set.
Oh, they hang
Those
out
two
all
cut
the
ups
time.
together.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
Mhm.
All right, moving back to the actual filmography. 1995, another big year for him. He is in the Tom DeKillo film Living in Oblivion, which nowadays is a little more memorable for being the debut film of Peter Dinklage. That is a film where Steve Buscemi plays an independent filmmaker, and it's it's memorable for the scene between Buscemi and Dinklage, where Dinklage has been hired because they need a dwarf actor to dress in a tuxedo and a top hat because he's filming a dream sequence in his movie, and then over the course of the scene, Dinklage, the actor, gets more and more impertinent about the fact that it's all like, why does this character need to be a dwarf? The only reason that you ever put dwarves in movies is for stupid fucking dream sequences like this. And he starts kicking and punching Buscemi and he walks off. It's great. It was the big introduction of all like, who's this guy? This guy is really popping. But yeah, that's a really fun movie. That's a really fun scene. He briefly appears in Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man. He appears in Robert Rodriguez's Desperado, playing a character named Buscemi.
Holy shit, I forgot he was in Desperado.
And right on the tail end of Pulp Fiction coming out the next year, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. One of the very first Tarantino knockoff movies, where it's like a bunch of criminals with like crazy names going around doing criminal stuff. And I've always remembered him from this movie because he has a great character name. His name is Mr.
Oh.
He plays like an assassin or something.
I
I've always just thought that was like a cool
silent killer. Gotcha.
Indeed. So 1996, another banner year for him. Much like we did last time with Francis McDormand, I'll just cut through the bullshit here. It's the year of Fargo.
Yep.
Which is certainly his highlights working with the Coens. It's the juiciest role they ever wrote for him.
Oh, yeah.
He's deeply memorable. It seems pointless to say like he should have gotten an Oscar nomination for this because everyone should have gotten an Oscar nomination in Fargo.
Yeah.
He's really terrific.
Yeah, it sets the pedigree of the motor mouth, hyperactive criminal and the stoic, really intimidating, scary one. It's a great dynamic that they've carried on through most of the Fargo series, or at least the spirit of that is imbued in a lot of the henchman killer characters.
Yeah, there's one big guy and the other guy is a little funny looking.
Yeah.
Also in 1996, as I previously mentioned, is his debut as a writer and director of the film Trees Lounge, where he plays a dive bar owner and a rotating door of colorful figures come in. All right, sidebar number 2.
Oh, okay.
I just briefly want to go down Steve Buscemi's directing career. He has directed quite a bit. He's directed 1, 2, 3, 4. He's directed 5 movies.
Okay.
2000's Animal Factory, which is a prison drama starring Willem Dafoe and Edward Furlong. 2005's Lonesome Jim, which is an indie romantic comedy with Casey Affleck and Liv Tyler. 2007's Interview, which is basically a two-hander between Buscemi and Sienna Miller, where he's interviewing a famous person. And 2022's The Listener, where Tessa Thompson is like a call center person. I didn't look too much into that.
Okay.
He's also directed multiple episodes of TV, including what many people consider one of the best episodes of The Sopranos, season 3's Pine Barrens, where they get lost in the woods. He also directed a concert documentary.
Oh.
And
Which concert? Like which band?
this is what I want to ask you. Who do you think Steve Buscemi would be into? What concert do you think? And like the answer isn't like weird. This is a band that I like. I just think it's kind of delightful that this is what he decided to direct.
Well, my first guess would have been that band that Peter Stormare's in, but
Sure, that would make sense. Swedish Meatballs or whatever the fuck that's called.
That was Blonde from Fargo.
Yes, it was Blonde from Fargo.
Band that you're in, David Byrne. They directed.
I mean,
David
that
Byrne?
would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
No, Vampire Weekend.
Oh.
I just think that's really interesting. That's kind of like an offbeat choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Huh.
Who gives a fuck about an Oxford comma? Turns out, Steve Buscemi does.
Yeah. Now you mentioned at the very start that he began as like a writer and like that's what he was studying before he got into acting.
I don't know if he was studying to be a writer, but he definitely wrote his own.
Screenwriter.
He wrote his own sketch comedy. He wrote his own stand up or whatever. So he's
Okay.
always
He's always had one foot in that.
exactly
Cool.
He contains multitudes.
Mhm.
1996, he's in John Carpenter's Escape from L.A. as Maps to the Stars Eddie.
Oh god, nobody liked that fucking movie.
I like parts of it. The main thing is that the main mission statement of that movie is that John Carpenter must be kept away from CGI at all times. Because that movie's kind of fun. It looks ridiculous. Like, especially like the tidal wave sequence with the fake shark and everything.
It's a fun movie to imagine. He made that in protest and as a dig at Hollywood being soulless and just mining all
Right.
past IPs for which is what it is because he just destroys LA.
1997, he's in Con Air
Yep.
as Garland Green, the Marietta Mangler.
Yeah, he was great in that.
A great little subversive. You think it's gonna go one way, and no, he turns out he's a nice guy.
He finds redemption in the end, I guess.
1998, another two big memorable parts. Of course, he is Donnie in The Big Lebowski.
It's intentionally not a memorable part for him. It's them.
Except it really is memorable.
It is.
It does come off, but yeah, not necessarily because of anything that he does.
No, he's just there to be a punching bag for John Goodman.
It's such a great supporting role because
Yeah.
he's there to support the other two.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like his most memorable line of dialogue is just, "The fuck's he talking about, dude?"
Yeah,
Like,
phone's
that's
ringing.
it.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Phone's ringing, dude. Like I said, yeah, he doesn't have like any memorable lines, but
Yeah.
he's integral to that
Yeah.
movie.
Man, that's one of my favorite movies, but I gotta say, a lot of the Big Lebowski fans are a little overboard when it comes with like
Well,
dissecting
yeah.
every little bit of that movie.
I mean, it's
but
one of
that
the...
said, I do have my own theory about Donnie.
Okay.
It's not a super memorable one. Like he represents, the fall of the Roman Empire or anything like that, because that's how fucking in depth those fans get.
Well,
no,
as we all know, 80% of men think about the Roman Empire all the time. I'm thinking about it right now.
because I brought it up.
Yeah.
But no, my theory is that Donnie's the best bowler on their team. Because we never see the dude bowl, we only see Walter take a shot, and Donnie's the only one we ever see, getting strikes.
I'm almost certain you've shared this opinion before.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fine. It bears repeating.
You've shared many of a repeating opinion on
I
this
never
show.
repeat myself. It's a steel trap up here.
Gotcha.
But it's a steel trap full of holes, like a colander. It's more of a colander.
Gotcha.
Also,
a sieve.
Yes, a sieve.
What else in 90? Was that the year of
19
Armageddon?
It is also the year of of Armageddon.
Right.
So he's making a ton of movies with Peter Stormare.
Yeah.
He's made like 3 of them back to back. So
Yeah.
soon to be 4.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 2001. If there ever was a role that should have gotten him an Oscar nomination.
Oh, Ghost World?
Ghost World.
Yeah.
He came the closest for this. Like, he
Yeah.
got like a lot of precursors. I think he got a Golden Globe nomination. But yeah, on Oscar nomination day, he just came up a little bit short. That movie in general came up a little bit short. But that movie's incredible. He's incredible in it. Just like this very relatable, single, nerdy guy who's just really kind of given up on life and love and everything, and he meets
Relatable to who,
to
Kaz?
this guy.
Oh, buddy.
To this guy with 2 thumbs pointed right at me. I've been sad in my life.
You've had 2 high schoolers pal around with you and manipulate you.
Absolutely. I've been the center of a cruel joke that later turned into like a deep, meaningful friendship. Yeah, absolutely. It's a very relatable movie, and he's tremendous.
He is
in
great.
it.
He is great in that.
Also, it's barely anything, but I couldn't not mention he's also a voice in Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Oh, fuck, is he?
A movie that at the beginning of a mushroom trip is the best movie you've ever seen, but by the end of the mushroom trip, you realize, oh no, it's a steaming pile of garbage. Also in 2001, he is, of course, the antagonist of Monsters Incorporated.
That's right. I always forgot that he... I mean, no. The first time I watched Monsters, Inc., I was like, holy shit, that's Steve Buscemi.
I mean, the character even kind of looks a little Buscemi-coded. He's
All right, now
he's
who's
a better-
being mean to this?
No, we already said,
He's a funny-looking guy. He's not a purple reptile-looking guy.
yeah, he's got range, though.
Yeah, that's true.
He just plays one. And he also appears briefly in the John Travolta Vince Vaughn thriller Domestic Disturbance. The reason I bring this up is because a little footnote on Wikipedia. During the filming of that movie, There was an altercation at a bar with a random person. Steve Buscemi, Vince Vaughn, and the screenwriter of this movie. Steve Buscemi tried to intercede, and he ended up getting slashed across the face with a knife.
Oh God!
And it was the second time, roughly around the early 2000s, where Steve Buscemi briefly was arrested. Not for anything he did. It was more just all like, you were in a bar fight, so we got to take you in or whatever. It's interesting because I read that and it's like, if he had facial scarring from that experience...
Oh, come on. You wouldn't be able to tell?
No, that wasn't where I was going.
Okay, all right.
I was just going to say if he got facial scarring, it's not noticeable, because you don't notice a scar on his face after, like, a certain point or just whatever. He's not like... I was just implying that he wasn't like Michael K. Williams, who had like, a very noticeable scar on his face his entire career. Yeah. So, I don't know.
All right.
This entire episode isn't me taking pot shots at how ugly Steve Buscemi is. I love the guy. He's great. 2002, he's back with Robert Rodriguez as the villain Romero in Spy Kids 2 and Spy Kids 3D. Game over. 2003, to date, his only collaboration with Tim Burton, which I found interesting. You would think a guy with Buscemi's whole deal, you'd think Tim Burton could find more uses for that guy, because he is kind of the modern day Peter Lorre.
Oh God, 2003 Tim Burton. That's either Big Fish or Sleepy Hollow.
It's Big Fish.
Okay,
so that's weird. So it's like, it's the one time Tim Burton uses him, and it's like arguably one of his more normal movies.
Yeah.
He plays like a charismatic bank robber that Ewan McGregor befriends.
Yeah.
It's a lovely movie, but yeah, it's definitely an outlier in Tim Burton's career. There's nary a ghoul to be found in that one.
But yeah, Tim Burton goes back to the well for a lot of his favorite character actors. You bring up a good point. It's surprised he doesn't.
Surprising that
go
he
back to
hasn't thrown. I mean, the man works. The man is working. From 2004 to 2006, he's on 14 episodes of The Sopranos as Tony Blundetto, as other Tony. A very memorable turn for that show. So I have led to believe. I kind of stopped watching The Sopranos before he showed up.
Okay.
But I've heard that he's incredible on that. He gave that season a real jolt in the arm.
I can see that.
2005, he's back with Michael Bay for The Island. Everyone's favorite Michael Bay movie. Definitely a movie that people remember. From 2007 to 2013, previously mentioned, he's on 6 random episodes of 30 Rock as Lenny Wozniak.
Yeah, Jack Donnelly's private investigator. Yeah, great, good role, because he's just one of those, which 30 Rock always did so well, especially with the Dr. Pachevin character. But you take a recurring character and you just make them bad at their jobs, but everyone just like goes to them because they're like the only person that they know.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
And if I'm sure when he signed up for it, it sounded great on paper, and he never would have realized that would weirdly be one of his biggest legacies is the fucking meme, because no one ever knows what's going to become a meme when they're making a meme. You can't engineer a meme on purpose.
It's probably a good day on set for him. I don't think he shares screen time with anyone other than Alec Baldwin.
The kids.
Okay.
Fellow kids. He's sharing it with the fellow kids.
In one cutaway gag. All right.
2009, he's in a movie that I want to mention called The Messenger. This is a Steve Buscemi performance that has always stuck with me. The Messenger is a movie that stars Ben Foster and Woody Harrelson as a couple of army guys who their job is they go around to the houses to let the families of fallen soldiers know that their child is dead. Inarguably one of the worst jobs for anyone to have.
Yeah.
And it's a very depressing movie, as you can understand. There's lots of big emotions going on it. Buscemi has 2 scenes in it. The first scene is when they go to tell him that his son has died, and it's just absolutely gutting. He just because he doesn't like break down. He gets mad, which is a perfectly normal response for this type of thing. He has like this thing where he like points at a tree and is all like, that tree is older than my son will ever be now. And it just kind of like really stirred me. And then he doesn't show up again until near the end of the movie, where Harrelson and Foster are sitting at a bar drinking, and you just see him in the back. You see him come in. You think it's going to go one way, and he walks up to Woody Harrelson and he says, "Sir, I just wanted to apologize for my behavior yesterday. That was completely out of line." And Harrelson just very quietly goes, "Sir, you have nothing to apologize for." And he just walks out. And I'm tearing up now.
Just thinking about it.
I'm just thinking it's such a good turn. And Woody Harrelson got nominated for supporting actor that year for that performance. which makes sense. His is the showrunner role. Buscemi's kind of barely in that movie. I've never forgotten it. It's
Yeah.
just one of those 2-scene roles that he just fucking crushed. And he crushed it by, like, not even trying very hard. So that's a huge recommend for me. I think he's tremendous in it. I can't really speak on the movie. I don't know if the movie holds up terribly well, but he's great.
Well, I mean, I can't speak on it either because I haven't seen it, but I can read your expression on it. And I can see that it actually did leave this huge impact on you. So
It's
that's a point of the movie's favor.
Sometimes you think about movie scenes and you just get goosebumps, you know, and that's how you can tell that a real fucking artist is behind it. All right, moving on. 2010 to 2014, his biggest success on TV as the lead of Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah, that show had me from the log line. Steve Buscemi as the corrupt city treasurer in Atlantic City at the height of the Prohibition era, produced by Martin Scorsese. Sign me the fuck up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave up after like a couple of episodes.
Ah, you're a fool.
Not because I don't like prestige TV. It's just a lot. I don't know. I have weird TV viewing habits. I liked what I saw. I do not doubt whatsoever that I would completely be into Boardwalk Empire. It's absolutely my bag. What I found interesting looking into Boardwalk Empire, I assumed that he must have won an Emmy for it.
No.
He did not. He only got he won a Golden Globe and 4 SAG Awards, but he did not win an Emmy for Boardwalk Empire. The only Emmy that he ever won was for something called Park Bench with Steve Buscemi, which is a web series that he made himself where he just talks to his famous friends on a park bench.
Aw, that's
but
cute.
like, sure, go ahead, whatever. There you go, man.
Maybe he's more proud of that because it's,
You know
it's
what?
his creation.
Possibly. It
Yeah, it's
seems
a-
like his baby. So yeah. Another speaking of prestige TV that I also haven't seen, 2016. This is a show that completely passed me by, largely because when it came out, it was really hard to stream. It's the Louis C.K. show Horace and Pete.
Oh.
Which is sort of his follow-up to Louis. It only ran for 10 episodes. I think he, like, did something weird, like he only released it on, like, his website. Like, it wasn't actually picked up by a studio. Now you can stream all of it on Amazon. I have it bookmarked because I kind of want to check it out. It's of course now you have to take it with a big old lump of, you know, Louis
Sure,
C.K. But from everything I've heard about that, like Laurie Metcalf is in it. Everything I've heard about it, it's like this thing is like phenomenal. This is like, it's quietly like a masterpiece.
It's the anti-sitcom. It's,
Yeah.
it's filmed to look like Cheers, and yet everyone there who would be a regular at a bar is appropriately a barfly that you would see at Cheers, and they're all depressed. They're all stuck in their lot in life.
It took people by swerve because when it came out,
It's not meant to be funny.
No, it's not meant to be funny. It's
Yeah.
Louis C.K. doing a drama. And that sort of, and that was only like a few years before he would just completely get canceled. So it
Yeah.
kind of got swallowed by that. But everything I've heard about that is that it's phenomenal. And he's Pete. He's the second lead of that.
Yeah.
So that's worth checking out. I may take an eye on that at some point in time. All right. 2 other roles that I really like. He's in the great, speaking of Pete, he's in a great film called Lean on Pete from 2007, which is a movie about a kid who steals a racehorse. Spoiler alert, it goes badly. He's great in that. He's also basically the main character of The Death of Stalin.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
very funny movie that
Yeah.
is also very dark.
Yes.
But he's tremendous in it. That's one of his rare leading roles in a movie, and he just absolutely crushes
Oh
it.
yeah, that's a great film.
He has voiced 2 different Transformers.
Oh God.
He voiced Day Trader in Michael Bay's The Last Night. And last year he voiced Starscream in the animated Transformers 1. Which was pretty good, and I would actually say he was kind of the highlight of. He understood, like when you heard him, it was him very much, he got the note, it's all like, this is what this character talks like.
Oh.
And he's like doing a thing. He's actually doing a thing in
at
that.
his age, wow. Jeez. Well,
Yeah,
good
like
on
a-
you. Good on you, sir.
He had like a couple of it. I have a feeling a lot of it was like fixed in post.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know how much of it is him actually doing the screech.
They just heightened the pitch on it. Great job,
Yeah.
guys.
2020, he's in the Judd Apatow, Pete Davidson film, The King of Staten Island. I mention this because finally someone let him play a damn firefighter.
That came out in 2020.
Yeah, that feels
Oh,
like that
fuck.
feels like that came out a decade ago.
No, that feels like it came out like 2 years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, time is not a flat circle anymore.
You made my night, Kaz.
And one more little bout of prestige TV. Another show that has tremendous reviews and I haven't gone around to seeing yet is Miracle Workers.
Yeah, my buddy watches that, or he's seen it, and he recommends it. It's funny. It's cute.
Yeah, it's one of those
It's,
shows.
it's an anthology show, right?
Yeah, every season is like a different plot. The first season, Buscemi plays God.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe plays an angel. And now they're up to like the Oregon Trail. I kind of don't know what that show's about,
I
but
think
it sounds interesting.
It's like each season, I think, takes place in a different century. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like a revolving, well, it's like the same recurring cast. They just play different characters every season. I don't know what the through line is for all that, but
Yeah.
I hear good things.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
And then most recently, he had a movie that was released a little while ago. It has a really good premise. It is let down by, I used the word lugubrious earlier. I'm going to
I was going to check.
I'm going to drop it again here.
Yeah.
It has a great title that unfortunately is settled with an absolutely unnecessarily lugubrious subtitle. So this is a movie he's in where he plays a retired serial killer who starts working with a writer to tell his life story. But then one day...
This is the plot of Big Gold Brick.
Oh, no, he wasn't a serial killer.
Okay.
He was just like a businessman.
Okay. Okay.
He was like a pudding magnate.
Right.
Surprised I remember anything about that movie. So the writer's wife discovers them one day, and to sort of like cover their tracks, the serial killer, Steve Buscemi, pretends to be their marriage counselor. So now this serial killer is moonlighting as a marriage counselor for this couple, and the name of the movie is Psychotherapy. Clever, right?
Yeah.
You could stop right there. Unfortunately, the title goes on. The full title of this movie is Psychotherapy, The Shallow Tale of a Writer Who Decided to Write About a Serial Killer. Fuck all, take all of that, edit into the trash can. Don't need it. Don't need it at all. You have a really clever title there.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're not Dr. Strangelove. That's all I'm saying. No one will be Dr. Strangelove again.
Right.
It looks good though. The trailer looks funny.
Okay.
And coming up, he will be a voice in Andy Serkis's Animal Farm.
All right. Yeah.
He's doing an animated version of George Orwell's Animal Farm. And he's finally reuniting with Tim Burton.
Oh, okay. Good thing you brought that up earlier. What's Tim Burton up to?
For Wednesday season 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kind of not what I was hoping for, but it's something.
Whatever. They got
suppose.
around to it.
They got around to it.
They heard your fan mail.
Who knows how much of that Tim Burton is even directed anymore? But whatever, they figured it out. All right, there we go. That ran longer than usual, but like it's Steve Buscemi, man.
Yeah.
And I really edited a lot of that.
He's a fellow worth talking about because he's a beloved character actor. He's been working pretty steadily in show business, which you can't even say for a lot of his contemporaries, but he's just he's the consummate actor's actor, I'd
And
say.
of course, all of this is as I often leave out of filmographies and TV bibliographies or whatever. None of this is even counting the amount of theater that he does. He's constantly on the stage. So yeah, this guy just does not stop.
Yeah.
But let's stop delaying the inevitable.
Yeah,
let's talk about these moons.
We've agreed to talk about 13 moons, and by God, we're gonna talk about them all.
At the very least, we'll get around to 7 moons.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have enough energy in me for all 13 moons. I'm also drinking throughout this episode. I feel like I should point this out. This is what this movie has done to me.
You're drinking water.
Am I?
Oh, theater of the mind. Yeah, it's straight vodka. I wish I thought of that.
That's straight vodka.
Okay.
All right, we'll take a little break, and when we come back, we'll tell you about whatever the fuck these moons are up to.
Yeah, well, bet you can't wait, folks.
Man. Take a look at these 13 moons. Number 6 will amaze you. All right, bye.
Bye. Have you ever seen it?
That movie?
Yeah.
No, I have not seen it.
Neither have I.
We will watch it on the day.
Yeah, because I'm probably gonna rewatch The Big Lebowski beforehand just to see if there's Easter eggs. Which I hope there's not.
If there's any connective tissue
Yeah.
whatsoever, yeah. I'll save this for the episode itself, but it's also a remake of like a French film. So it's like, yeah, it's like a whole thing. This is all a spoiler for next episode, although we're like, If we're doing Coen Brothers character actors, you can probably guess who we're going to talk about next. And if you can guess who we're going to talk about next, you can probably guess what movie
Oh
we're
shit,
gonna
are you
talk about
recording
next.
this? I thought
You
were
know what? I'm trying to get a little bit of that off-the-cuff
Oh, man.
type energy.
Well, way to give the game away, Kaz. And we're back with 13 moons.
13 Moons.
Yeah, all 13 of them.
Thir-
The baker's dozen of moons.
written and directed by Alexander Rockwell. I had to look this up to confirm. His name indeed is Alexander Rockwell, although he spells it. It looks like it's like Alexander. Like he switches the R and the E around. I have no idea why, but that is indeed how he says it. No relation to Sam Rockwell, who appears in this movie and multiple other films from this filmmaker.
Yeah.
I won't spend a ton of time on this guy because we still haven't talked about the moons and how many there are of him. But I do need to bring a couple things up because it does relate back to Steve Buscemi. So Alexander Rockwell is, again, like I said earlier, there's indie and then there's indie. He lives in the indie world. Like he is the one who is making these black and white 80-minute movies that no one has ever heard of. It's his 1992 feature In the Soup, which is the film that got him recognized by the film community in general. It's a slightly autobiographical film about a filmmaker who wants to fund his next movie, and so he hooks up with a mobster.
Okay.
The filmmaker is played by Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
The mobster is played by the late, great Seymour Cassel. And the cast of the movie includes such names as Jennifer Beals, Sam Rockwell, Elizabeth Bracco, Rocket's Red Glare.
Yeah.
So this guy gets casts.
Yeah.
This is like a guy who has never necessarily been like a household name. Actors love working with him.
Really?
He always gets like the most stacked casts like imaginable. Like his next movie after In the Soup is a romantic comedy called Somebody to Love. The cast of that is Buscemi, Rockwell, Bracco, Rosie Perez, Harvey Keitel, Anthony Quinn, Stanley Tucci, Quentin Tarantino. Like he just gets everybody for things.
Yeah.
Now, the movie that you might be familiar with that Alexander Rockwell did is less of a movie and is more of a fourth of a movie. He is one of the directors of Four Rooms. Do you ever fuck with that?
No, I've heard of it. I've heard of it,
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
So that's the indie film that in like the heyday of Miramax, they said, what if we made this portmanteau movie that's 4 different directors telling 4 different stories, all crammed together. It all takes place in a hotel, and the connective tissue is Tim Roth plays a bellhop who keeps bumbling into these situations. The 2 filmmakers that everyone has heard of are Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. The 2 filmmakers that no one has heard of is Alexander Rockwell and another indie filmmaker named Allison Anders, who, much like Rockwell at the time, made an indie film that a lot of people liked called Gas Food Lodging. Allison Anders' segment involves a coven of witches led by Madonna that want Tim Roth's sperm for like a ritual of some sort. It's pretty wacky. Robert Rodriguez's section is Antonio Banderas plays a mean dad that forces Tim Roth to babysit his kids, and his kids are troublemakers. And Quentin Tarantino's segment involves himself and a couple of other random actors who basically convince Roth to, on a dare, chop off their friend's thumb with a meat cleaver because they're rich dudes on drugs and they think that this would be a hilarious thing to do. Oh. Alexander Rockwell's sequence is basically a two-hander. And
you know, I might want to watch this movie someday, so maybe just trim down how much of the plot you were willing to share.
Okay, I won't go into too much. I just wanted to say that his segment is essentially about a man and a woman. They are in some sort of a fight. The Tim Roth knocks on the door. The man points a gun at him and accuses Roth of sleeping with his wife. And Roth tries to find his way out of that scenario. I'm just going to say it, Mr. Rockwell, the least memorable of the 4 sequences. It's the one that everyone kind of like fast forwards. But the man and the woman in that segment are played by David Proval and Jennifer Beals, who also star in this movie, 13 Moons. And also of note, at the time, Jennifer Beals, Miss Flashdance herself, was also Mrs. Alexander Rockwell. So yeah, Four Rooms is kind of like the main thing he's known for, but he's currently the head of the directing program at NYU's Film School. So He's doing fine. To use a phrase that we used a couple of times so far on this podcast,
Lugubrious.
well, I was just going to say, he doesn't have anything else to prove.
Yeah.
He makes the type of films that he wants to make, and clearly doesn't care about what people think about them. I'm sure he's probably directed something of note, but 13 Moons is the only full feature of his that I have seen, and boy, I fucking hated it.
Oh, this sucks.
Oh god, it really was just an unpleasant experience from beginning to end.
I feel sorry for any student that's paying to take his film course right now. they're not going to get their money's worth. I'm sure they were bamboozled by like, oh, look at what did this guy work on? Holy shit, he had Steve Buscemi and Peter Dinklage and Jennifer Beals and Peter Stormare and all these other great people in this movie, and then they probably sat down and checked it out. And then quit.
I mean, he's like best buds with Steve Buscemi. Buscemi's in like every film that he made, including like the early shitty ones. So it's like, well, I say the early shitty ones.
Yeah, and the later shitty ones.
And the later shitty ones, yeah. Look, we're gonna dive into the movie
right now. So
all right, fine.
All right, so this movie is just a big one-eyed Jimmy reunion compared to just considering how many stars of that movie are in this.
So this movie shares 4 of the same actors from the Search for One-Eyed Jimmy previous episode. Buscemi, Sam Rockwell briefly, the aforementioned Jennifer Beals, also Michael Badalucco, who had a more prominent role in that, but
what was his name, like Joey Fathead or something like that?
He loved the chicken wings.
Something like that guy.
But yeah, he just has a little cameo in this. But as we go on, we will realize this movie has like multiple little reunions within it. Like there are just
we have returning all-stars, one of our Hall of Famers.
Oh boy, we'll get to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna spoil that.
We'll
get to that because he'll get the flowers he deserves when we get to it. But yeah, if the opportunity comes out for me to point out that this is a reunion between 2 actors, you better believe I'm gonna point it out.
Oh sure, yeah. So the movie opens with Steve Buscemi as a clown named Bananas, as he is performing, juggling in front of a crowd of kids in what looks like a basement dungeon. It's a very depressing TV set.
And out of all of the movies we could have covered for the Steve Buscemi episode, entirely, just to defend myself, entirely the reason why I selected this one is because it starred Steve Buscemi and Peter Dinklage as a pair of clowns named Bananas and Binky. You can't blame me that much, Jameson.
No, not at all, actually. In fact, I will say one of the high points I want to say for this movie is the relationship between Steve Buscemi and Peter Dinklage. Yes. I thought that there was a lot of great comedic potential between these guys as, you know, struggling loser modern day vaudeville clowns just down on their luck and them squabbling with each other. I have to imagine that in their off time they practiced a lot of the comedy duo shtick.
Well, they came out in the same scene, so I imagine they're trying on a lot of their
they're trying to flip the cigarettes into their mouths at the same time. They're doing like the whole hat exchange thing. They're like walking in cadence with each other. Yeah, they're great. I could have watched like an entire movie of just these guys.
Oh, if only this was just a movie about these guys, but unfortunately it's about 18 other things.
Yeah. They're Moons 1 and 2, I guess.
There are so many fucking characters in this movie.
Oh, so many. God.
Just like to an absolute fault. But yes, we begin with the Bananas the Clown show.
Yeah.
And Bananas is clearly at the very end of his rope. Okay, now here's I have so many questions about things that happen in this movie. But here's the very first one. So, Peter Dinklage, playing the character of Binky, who is also made up in clown makeup, he appears to be Bananas' producer.
Yes, he's manning the control panel in the monitor room or whatever.
So if there's ever a moment where Binky has like any screen time or whatever, like if he introduces the Banana Show or whatever, we as the audience never get to see that.
No.
We just see Peter Dinklage in full clown attire, just manning the 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
Leading to the question, why is he dressed up like a clown?
Why is he the clown?
I'm not complaining about it, but why is he dressed that way?
It would make more sense if they were like a comedic duo. They would just be like a Laurel and Hardy type, as, you know, like buddy clown types, you know, and there's like, oh, look at that contrast. We got one short clown and we got one tall clown. Well, that's good comedy potential right there. But no, he's the director or he's the producer of it, and he has to operate all the switchboard with the clown makeup. He's never on camera. Also, I guess this is like a live TV show because at one point, like a kid calls Banana like he sucks or fuck you clown,
fuck you clown face or whatever, and like we
and that goes live at this like televised clown show that's on at like 1 a.m.
They are absolutely filming this in some sort of like decrepit basement. I with like a full audience of kids who are up well past their bedtime.
Yeah. Not having a good time. They
It's-
hate
well,
this.
But why would no one would like this? Because Bananas has fully reached the end of his rope. The film begins and he's just sadly juggling.
Yeah.
He implements this sort of like last minute Hail Mary thing, which he has not told Binky about, where he debuts a new character, Balloons the Clown.
Yeah.
Balloony the Clown.
Yeah, he wants to stretch out. Yeah.
Midway through the show, he seemingly switches personas and says, "Hey, I'm Balloony the Clown now. Don't you want to play with Balloony?" And the kids aren't going for it.
No, God, no.
This is just like poor
actor-
script writing here.
This actor's on thin ice already, and all of a sudden he's
now
like
you're throwing
switching,
Balloony at me. I
he's
gotta
switching the game here.
I
Yeah.
gotta get a handle on like an entirely new clown. I don't know.
Yeah, so they're fired from this like fucking public access clown show that I guess that they're on.
And I guess they're sad about it, but they're also seemingly resigned to their fate.
Yeah.
Every character in this movie is like depressed about something.
Yeah.
But they don't want to take any action to improve their situation, with like a few examples, with a few exceptions.
Yeah, but like for the most part, it's them doubling down on the things that are just making them depressed. They kind of just, you get the air of like they either want to go home and not have to deal with this kind of bullshit, but so long as they're there to keep tabs on someone else, they're willing to stick around. It's very frustrating to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
So Binky lets it slip that Bananas' estranged wife is back in town, and she is on her way to the hotel where Bananas' mistress is currently also waiting for him. So Bananas is like, "Oh shit, I gotta go. This is not gonna be good.
I gotta go
oil meets
intercept
water here."
I gotta go intercept before the two women in my life meet up. I like the one part where they're running up the stairwell and
She's got a key?
She has a key. She's my girlfriend, for Christ's sake.
Hey, wait a minute! I hope we're not too late.
You stopped to tell me that, Binky? Jesus.
It's
Yeah.
very odd. It's almost like he's like trying to like delay something, but again, we don't know enough about what's going on. We don't know enough about these characters to know what's going on. Enough scenes have passed now in the movie where it is clued in that this was clearly shot on a Game Boy camera.
Jesus, yeah.
Where with every scene construction being filmed directly up the nose of whoever happens to be talking.
It's like, were they trying to go for like the whole guerrilla filmmaking style? Because it seems to me like this is another case where someone just like snuck a handy cam in. They had one person stand as the lookout, and then they filmed a scene in a hallway.
This has the energy of like someone like making like their first movie and not really knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And like
Getting around permits and shit like that.
Ignoring conventional filmmaking styles, shooting stuff guerrilla style or whatever. But it's like, we know for a fact that this is this guy's like fourth movie. He's worked with Tarantino. He clearly knows how to shoot and frame a movie. Again, I haven't seen all of his shit.
No, but like certainly all of these actors have been in better productions than this.
Yeah, you think one of them could have tapped him on the shoulders like, "Are you sure?
You know, we're
wanna
not
shoot me from this angle."
You know we're not making pie, right? Yeah.
Oh man, if only they made.
No,
pie.
we were making pie. Yeah.
Oh man, banana cream pie. Because then he could have thrown it in someone's face. All right, that's a joke, folks.
All right, Bananas opens the door and he sees the two women there, and Jennifer Beals, his ex-wife, tosses, like, what does she do? Like, she maces him. And
She
and
maces
storms
him in the face. Now, this is interesting. I noted this because right before you showed up, I was kind of scrubbing through the movie, just trying to get like a couple of context for things. Both on IMDb and in the film's end credits, Jennifer Beals is listed as Susie, but she's called Lori. The name of the character is Lori, and everyone calls her that throughout the movie.
Oh, man.
So it's another case of like, everyone dropped the ball in every aspect of this movie,
Including post.
character names.
Yeah.
So yes, so we meet Lori.
Briefly.
We'll call her Lori.
Yeah,
yes.
we meet Jennifer Beals very briefly before she leaves for the rest of the movie.
And we meet Bananas. Also, I love the fact that his name is Bananas.
I know,
And
it's
everyone
pretty-
refers to him as Bananas.
It's pretty good.
No one ever refers to him as anything other than Bananas.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
So we also meet his girlfriend Lily.
Yeah, Hillary
Hillary
Banks from Fresh Prince
From
of
the Fresh
Bel-Air.
Prince of Bel-Air, Karen Parsons. Now, here's the interesting thing about this scene, Jameson, is that in this one scene, we meet Bananas' estranged wife and his new girlfriend. They are played by Alexander Rockwell's ex-wife and his future wife, because the year after this,
Oh.
Alexander Rockwell married Karen Parsons, and they are still married to this day.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
now you're going because if I'm reading you correctly, your assumption is that Alexander Rockwell met Karen Parsons on the set of this movie and then divorced Jennifer Beals and then got together with her.
Yeah.
Jennifer Beals and Alexander Rockwell divorced in 1996, years before this movie started filming.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they just remained friends. I guess they just
That's
figured
nice.
it. I guess they just figured it out. Who knows?
Yeah.
I have no idea what the situation is, but I just found it really interesting that for these two women, he cast both of his wives.
What a move.
Except because he
Good
didn't
Lord.
realize the other one would be his wife
What-
eventually.
What
but
a fucking Mac.
it's a pretty Mac Daddy move. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
There must have been briefly a moment where, like, okay, ladies, just wait in this hotel room for your cue. I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to get Steve Buscemi and Peter Dinklage. We're going to film our scenes in the.
At
just
some point-
talk amongst yourselves
At
a little
some
bit.
point in time, something will happen, and
Yeah.
the camera will be running, and
Yeah.
we'll film that, and that will be the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hilary Banks. It was wild. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything other than the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
You know,
So it was.
she looks great.
She hasn't aged a day.
Yeah.
She looks incredible.
Yeah. All right. So Steve Buscemi runs downstairs to intercept his wife. Like, baby, wait, please. And she runs him over with the car. Peter Dinklage takes it upon himself because he's ever the best friend to Bananas. He calls the cops and says that there's like a police disturbance.
Yeah, kind of a dick move, Binky. You never want to get the cops involved,
Oh, for
especially
sure.
for like a minor
Yeah.
involvement with this.
Yeah.
What I like about this is because this movie is so low budget.
He calls the cops, but they don't actually film the cops arresting the wife.
Well, they don't film the cops arresting the wife. They do have like a cop car show up and flash their lights. I was going to say this movie is so low budget when Jennifer Beals nearly runs over Steve Buscemi with the car. It's Steve Buscemi doing the stunt.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't have fixed that in any
Yeah.
other way. They just shot what was there on the day and then moved forward.
And they're not speed ramping it or anything to make it look more intense. It's actually Steve Buscemi
Holding onto the front of a
holding onto
car.
the front of a car, trying to do a handstand on or something to simulate getting tossed around. Yeah, it's something.
So because of this interaction, Laurie gets arrested.
Yeah.
Jennifer Beals spends the majority of this movie in jail. I have to imagine that's why she said yes to this, because she couldn't have spent more than like a day on this movie.
No,
She's
God, no.
barely in it.
Yeah.
But this is where we meet the all-important character of Mo Potter, played by David Proval, who is this scummy bail bondsman. Like, as soon as he shows up, you're like, is this character like actually drunk? Like, is he
Yeah.
drunk on screen?
Yeah.
Or does he just like give off the impression of just being like the grossest dude?
He's playing it like he's drunk, and if this movie were to have like one main character, it's kind of him. Unfortunately, because all the characters go to him for all their bail bondsman needs. It's set up with him, at his bail bonds office, and he hears like a knock at the door, and it's his ex-wife, and she brings along her kid, saying that like, hey, I can't watch the kid tonight, so you take him. I forget exactly why.
I think she has to work. She's in like a tough situation where she's forced to work and she has no one else to watch the kid, so she drops him off with his scumbag father, who barely knows the kid.
Yeah.
Hasn't seen him in like his entire life practically. But I make my payment, so that makes it okay.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine. And she dumps the kid with him. He says, "What do you want to drink?" And he gives him
Like coffee creamer.
He
or
gives him
something.
a glass of non-dairy creamer just to showcase what a scumbag
You want
he
to drink,
is.
kid? This got calcium in it.
And the reason why we're hanging on this bail bondsman character is because every one of like the 18 characters that show up in this movie have some sort of connection to the bail bondsman. They need to get the bail bondsman to get someone that they know out of jail.
Yeah.
And then, so like our next two groups of characters, we don't really need to go through the introductions. We can just kind of set this up. Is we are introduced to, what's his name? Lenny.
Lenny, yeah, because like he's already on the phone with the bail bondsman when we first meet him before the wife knocks on the door, and he is this music producer who wants to get his girlfriend / future talent out of the slammer. Forget exactly why she was arrested, but
Because he says that they had a... Where is it? I did write it down. I think there was just something to do with the cop showed up at the recording studio. Someone had like an unregistered gun and she started floating it around. I think the implication is that So yeah, Lenny is a music producer. His girlfriend is Sanandra.
Sanandra, yeah.
And he wants to turn her into a music star. He wants to turn her into a singer, despite the fact that she can't sing.
And she admits that she can't.
She admits that she can't sing, and we later hear her later on a recording, and it is confirmed that she cannot sing.
That's actually a pretty fun running gag. I'll give it that.
It's a pretty good bit.
Yo, peep this.
I don't
Now you hear that right there?
heard it all
That's
so
a nun.
many times.
Yeah, she banging.
Here
Yo,
today.
people just think I'm working with her because she having my baby, man. Do they give a voice a chance? Nah.
Don't even start sniffing round here trying to get back in. Sending cards apologizing.
But I think the implication is that a bunch of people in the recording studio were making fun of her, so she pulled out a gun.
Maybe that's it. Okay.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know how that immediately led to her getting arrested.
I wonder
Because again, all of this happens before we're introduced to
Yeah.
these characters.
I mean, there's the funny underlying theme of that character relationship with Lenny in that he knocked her up. And he's still desperate to make her a star despite her not having any talent. I don't know. There's some...
or interest in being a singer. Like not only does she not have talent, she's aware of the fact that she doesn't have musical talent, and she tells him multiple times, "I don't want to be a singer.
Yeah.
People are making fun of me."
It has the ingredients of it being like, oh, this character is in a bind, promising to make this woman he knocked up a star. But she's not interested in being a star.
Yeah. He's just a pushy boyfriend that isn't reading the signs that maybe she's just not that into you.
Yeah.
And so he needs Mo to get his girlfriend out of jail. And then our next collection,
Oh, God.
3 priests walk into a strip club.
It's just the heaviest amount of lifting you got to do for this one.
So we are introduced to 3 men of the cloth.
One of whom is named. His name is Owen.
Well, they actually are all named, but it doesn't matter because the other 2 are barely characters.
Yeah.
But yes, Father Owen, played by Pruitt Taylor Vince, who is going through a crisis of faith and seemingly on a dime, is in a car with his 2 other priests and just decides, you know what,
Fuck it, I'm going to the strip
I'm
club.
going to the strip club. I got some stuff I got to think about, guys. And he just walks into a strip club, and the other 2 priests are all like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened? And so Owen goes into the strip club, and through a series of hilarious misunderstandings, his compadre, one of the other fathers, gets arrested.
Yeah.
Even though Owen was the one that was doing everything.
Yeah. So a couple of points for this. One, Steve Buscemi's girlfriend is at the strip club just talking to the other strippers.
I think the implication is that she is a stripper, and if
these are her friends.
these are her friends,
Yeah.
and maybe she has a shift later on.
Yeah. So she's there. The DJ of the strip club is Sam Rockwell.
In a shiny shirt.
In a very shiny shirt, talking into a microphone where you can't understand a fucking word he's saying.
And that's basically every line he has is speaking into a microphone where his voice is distorted and you can't really say. He has a very small role. He's just playing yet another scumbag in this movie, but he's having fun at the very least.
You guys, you like women? She's gorgeous, man. There's just pour honey all over her, man. This is a gorgeous girl. She's trying to make you
And then the other 2 priests follow Owen into the strip club, but the bouncer says, like, why would there be people dressed like priests in a strip club? I gotta get these troublemakers out of here.
Yeah,
And then
I believe they call them perverts.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because, priests have been known to do some shady shit.
Sure, yeah, but these guys are just up. They're not doing anything.
No.
They're
Well-
there to get their friend, and then like a fight breaks out.
Well, Owen requests a private dance, and apparently he gets a little handsy, even though that's yet another scene that isn't filmed.
yeah.
But it's necessary for the one non-offending priest to get arrested.
Yeah.
And then Owen and the other one have to get
Call up Mo.
They gotta call up Mo because he's apparently the only fucking bail bondsman in this city.
yeah.
So we have these 3 groups of characters all colliding with Mo the bail bondsman. But amazingly, that's not the plot of the movie.
No.
As I mentioned earlier, Timmy, the bail bondsman's son, is a sickly child
Yep.
with 1 kidney that we later learn is only working at 25%.
Yep. And he needs to have a donor that night to save his life. And conveniently enough, it's at the It's at the hospital that appears to be across the street from the prison.
Yeah, it's all everything is within like a 5-block walking radius
Yeah.
of each other, which I'm sure is how New York is absolutely like.
I think this is meant to be L.A., but whatever.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's New York.
Is
and
it?
I, and
Okay.
I have reason. I have receipts to back that up.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yes. So to complicate things further, Timmy has an extremely rare blood type, so it's very hard to find a donor for it. But as luck would have it, a donor who just so happens to be Timmy's second cousin is hit by a car in an earlier scene and has been brought to the hospital. Unfortunately, this donor is Peter Stormare,
Yeah.
playing the character of Slovo, who at one point in time in my viewing, I was confident in saying Peter Stormare is the only good part of this movie.
He's gonna save the movie, and
Until they used him too much.
Yeah.
And by the time, as the film went on, he just got so grating. Because Peter Stormare is playing this at 200% in every scene.
the direction they gave him was, okay, Peter Stormare, you are a insane drug addict, drunk, unpredictable.
You know, a Peter Stormare
A
type.
Peter Stormare type, and he took those notes and he's just like, okay, you want me to do like what my standard crazy guy, but go even further into like unpredictable, unhinged territory. And yeah, he is.
Like, if you think about Peter Stormare in, like, Bad Boys 2 or Armageddon or any of his other roles where he's playing just, like, a raving maniac, just imagine that performance and, like, add, like, 5 onto it. Like, he is so over the top.
and he's
funny sometimes. Sometimes he brings the most enjoyment to this movie.
There are other parts in the movie, though, where he's surrounded with the other characters and they're trying to restrain him. And I get the vibe that he's really pushing it. I got the vibe that a lot of the co-stars of his were, you know,
Not too happy
not
to
too
spend a scene with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he refuse to break character? Yeah, I would have to imagine.
Or
that.
he would just go like a little too far where he's like falling over people and they're just like, get the fuck off me, Peters.
I would love to know what, if anything, was actually written down for this script. Or if it was like Alexander Rockwell doing like a Mike Lee type situation where he just wrote an outline and just had everyone else improvise their dialogue.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if anything Peter Stormare said was written down at any point in time. It all seems like shit that he just came up with in the moment.
There's one point where I forget who exactly, might have been Lenny, but he says like, Peter Stormare, like, what do you want? And he says, I want women, and I want the booze, and I want
TVs.
drugs, and I want the TVs.
I want 2 TVs.
And I want us to be naked. And it's just like, yeah, okay, he's just riffing here.
My favorite line of his that I did write down is at one point in time he's threatening Peter Dinklage and he says, I will beat the fucking licorice out of you some sunny day, my friend. I'm like, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this guy is the only guy in the entire city that can give sweet little innocent Timmy a kidney.
By just like sheer happenstance, he was hit by a car, and now he's like, well, he is unconscious when we see him in the hospital, and then he comes to like a fucking Frankenstein monster, but like
steals the wig off of another patient, takes their drugs,
But what
and
was-
then just ambles out of the hospital.
But what was their plan? Take this unconscious man and like just have him give up his kidney or whatever against his will?
Well, sure, but here's the other thing, and it's a plot point that I wrote down around this time, and then eventually, as the movie went on, the movie itself commented on it, and indeed, it's where they end up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to give Timmy this guy's kidney.
No.
his kidneys are fucking on life support at this point
Probably
in
got like
time.
psoriasis and shit, right?
And honestly, I will give the movie credit is that they worded it in a way that's better than me. Near the end of the movie, someone says, "I'm sorry, this guy's kidneys probably look like a taco."
Yeah.
which is a well-written dialogue.
Yeah,
Though I'm sure someone came up with that at the point in time. But yes, the ostensible plot of this movie is that Timmy needs a kidney, and
Or whatever, or like-
or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. They say that he's got like some rare condition that he's dying.
No, it's not whatever. They specifically say he needs a kidney.
He needs a kidney. Okay.
He needs a kidney, and he needs Slovo's kidney. And Slovo
Not
has
just any
escaped.
kidney. Not just
so
any kidney.
all of our cannonball run menagerie of wacky characters
Oh, yeah.
all get into their multiple cars and spend the majority of the movie wandering around trying to find Peter Stormare.
yeah.
And this movie is so frustrating because the characters are constantly getting in and out of different cars, and it's different combinations of
Yeah,
characters.
They're all kind of pairing off together to have like their own little side adventures. Like it all kicks off with them, I don't know, at the fucking hospital where they say to Mo, "Don't you care about your kid whatsoever?" Fucking bail bondsman guy. And so he asks the kid, "So what do you want to do?" And he says, "You don't have to do anything for me, Dad, but you know, I always wanted to go to the zoo and see the monkeys." "Well, tell you what, kid, it's 3 a.m. Let's go to the fucking zoo."
So that's that subplot. So while everyone is running around trying to find Peter Stormare, Mo takes his son to the zoo. He has a gun with him. I don't remember where he got the gun from, but he gets a gun at one point in time. He drives up to like the zoo security guard. He starts threatening the zoo security guard. The security guard's all like, "This is going to make you a better father. I also have a son." And then somewhat on a dime, the security guard's all like, "You know what? You've convinced me. Come inside."
Yeah.
And he shows him the monkeys. And Timmy has a scene with a monkey.
Yeah.
And I'm immediately thinking that monkey's going to rip that little boy's face off. Those
Oh, yeah.
monkeys are very strong.
Yes.
But it doesn't happen.
No.
But that's happening.
And Mo learns to like love his son that he hardly knew again,
Yep,
or he's just drunk. I don't know.
and then that's that character's journey. Meanwhile, all of these characters who are unrelated to these two characters
Yeah.
are going around trying to find this drug addict
Yeah.
so he can
It-
give
well-
a little boy his kidney. And my God, what is this movie?
It's Sanandra and Hillary Banks who
Yes.
who show the most concern for this kid, and they're the ones like I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's like that motherly instinct that all women have.
I think it's the idea that they're the two prominent female characters in this movie. They like Timmy has wandered away and he's literally just playing with his balloon in the middle of a parking lot, and he almost gets run over by bananas at one point in time. And and Sanandra and Lily are the ones that are all like, "Who's watching this child?" And they basically scoop Timmy up and they don't let go of him for the entire movie.
Yeah,
They're the
until Mo like absconds with him.
until Mo absconds with him. But it's like, yes, they are the two. Because I guess the idea is all like, oh, these men in our lives,
Yeah.
just letting kids get run over.
So yeah, they partner up with Owen and that other priest friend of his to go and track him
Well,
down.
no, Owen partners up with the two ladies,
Yeah.
and the other random priest hangs out with Bananas Binky
Right.
and Leon, Leroy, what's his
Lenny.
name? Lenny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh
yes.
yeah, and the third priest is just like kept in the cell overnight.
Yes.
They never get around to bailing him out.
And they imply that some jail rape might be going on.
Oh yeah, what is
but
that?
yes.
What does the guy say? He says,
He-
"Hey, I hate sex, but that doesn't mean I don't do it."
Yeah. Now, also around this time, Peter Dinklage seemingly has like a flash forward. This was an inexplicable
A few
scene.
characters have a flash forward.
This was inexplicable because it's like I'm watching it and I'm like, is this like a future scene that we haven't seen? But I don't think it is. It's just all of the characters of the movie in the hospital, and we reckon it's the same hospital, but
They kind of pass by each other,
they don't seem to know each other.
and a few of them are wearing different clothes than they're wearing for the rest of the
What
movie.
the fuck was your read on that?
My thought was that's all those flash forwards actually were flashbacks to like maybe another scenario, maybe weeks ago, where they all happen to be in the same building at the same time. And isn't life and fate so interesting?
Isn't it straight? 13 Moons, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bananas and Binky are hanging out in the parking lot. He's stolen Hillary Banks' car keys, and so he's desperate to get back together with her,
Yeah.
and so he's just holding on to them. Peter Stormare runs between them,
Steals a cigarette.
steals a cigarette.
Binky threatens to beat him up.
Yeah.
That's another scene that kind of goes nowhere.
I mean, like I said before, the best parts of this movie to me are just the comedic pairing of Steve Buscemi and Peter Dinklage, because Stormare comes up to him and says, like, "Hey, can I have a cigarette?" And as Steve Buscemi is like lighting up a cigarette between both him and, and Peter
Yeah.
Dinklage with the massive butane lighter, he just says, "We don't smoke."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's
Which is a
pretty
good thing to say to a random fucking guy who comes up and is just like, yeah, let me enjoy my cancer on my own. Thank
Yeah.
you very
There you
much.
go, yeah.
I made this choice.
But that which Peter Stormare replies with like, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna say that you're raping me. Hey, they're raping me," as he goes over the hill. Yeah.
Just some classic humor right here.
Mhm.
So
I mean, as we've said before on our Peter Stormare episode, maybe just like his inherent darkness just shines through in everything else. And we, like us sensitive North Americans, aren't attuned to the Swedish intensity of it all.
But as I mentioned on that episode, I also showed you like a poster for like a Swedish movie he made where he's just like a nice chef.
Yeah.
So I feel like in Sweden he's just like a normal guy, but then when he transfers over here, he's like the scariest motherfucker
Yeah.
in the world. Yeah. So part of like this running I guess like storyline here between like this group of characters is that Sanandra, Hillary Banks, and Father Owen have teamed up as sort of like a trio, and like the other men are in. We forgot to mention Lenny is driving around in a recreational vehicle.
Yeah, I think the implication is that it's supposed to be like a massive rock star tour bus, but it's an RV.
Yeah.
It's a fucking RV.
Like Lenny is a very successful music producer because
Yeah.
we travel to his mansion later on in the house. Outside of like the one tape from Shanandra, we never hear any of his music. If Lenny himself is also an artist, we don't know. That's never implied or anything. It's just like a very vague music producer type guy. The gentlemen see like the ladies interacting with each other, and thus starts, I believe it's Dinklage who starts the rumor that they must be lesbians. They must be in love with each other because, of course, when two
women be talking to each other, you just
they
know.
gotta be gay. Now, to be fair, I think that is the director commenting on how dumb and
men.
shitty men are, or whatever. But it did bear repeating that.
It did really have that air of this was considered a normal joke in the late 90s, early
Yes.
2000s. Yeah.
If two women have a conversation and it doesn't involve a man, then they must be lesbians.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, and Dinklage, his only other characteristic is that he's trying to make inroads with Lenny because he realizes that Lenny is important, and Lenny just doesn't give him the time of day.
Dinklage's character, like, I love him because he's Dinklage, but also his character is so
Inconsequential.
well, not inconsequential, but inconsistent is what I was about to say. Because like the introductory scene where he sees Timmy for the first time, he kind of like gives him a little smile. He's trying to like calm the kid down or whatever. You know, he's doing clown stuff and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like later on, someone point blank asks him, like, "Aren't you worried about like the little sick boy?" And Biggie's all like, "No, I don't care about the little sick kid. I just want money, money, money." It's all like, that's not what we saw from you. You like the kid.
He's the only male character that seems to be concerned for the kid.
Yeah, I guess, but like, I guess that's a rich commentary on how toxic masculinity.
That's what it is.
Poisons people. Yeah.
So the two women and the priest, they're
Walk
questioning.
into a bar.
Yeah, no.
They do walk into multiple bars.
They do, but what I was getting at is they're questioning some of the local derelicts if they've seen a kidney donor wander in the streets, and they describe him, and one of the guys says, "Nah, I haven't seen the guy," and then one gentleman in particular says, "Yeah, I've seen him." And who should be this gentleman but returning Nothing Movies Hall of Famer Danny Trejo.
Which now makes him the most covered actor in Nothing Movies history. We always knew it would be him.
Welcome back, sir. He was there from the beginning.
He was there from the beginning.
He'll be there to the end.
If we ever end this show, we'll have to we'll have to make sure that it's something that he's in. But he literally only has a single line of dialogue.
You know what? It was, I ran the numbers in my head, but he has less screen time than he had in Violet and Daisy, but he has a much more memorable part.
Oh yeah, this is without a doubt the least amount of screen time, and I'm counting Pups Alone, a movie where he does not appear on screen.
Yeah.
But yes, no, he's barely in this movie, but he shows up and he pisses on.
Well, yeah, he says like, "Oh yeah, the guy you're looking for, Peter Summer. Yeah, I know him by reputation. He's the guy who used to do this." And so he pisses on the priest, and then he grabs a Molotov cocktail and hucks it at a car.
Well, no, it's the other guy who hucks it at the car.
Really?
Now, did you recognize the other guy?
No,
in
I
this
didn't.
scene?
Like,
Okay.
who is this guy?
Okay, so
Is this that Rocket's Red Glare guy?
It's not Rocket's Red Glare was dead before he showed up in this
Oh.
movie. That's why he's dead. The movie's dedicated to him.
Oh, okay.
But it's someone who's kind of equally as cool as Rocket's Red Glare. The guy who's with Danny Trejo here is Eddie Bunker, who, much like Danny Trejo, started off his career as an actual inmate. He was like an actual criminal who worked through the prison system and then ended up being basically a prison consultant for movies. So both him and Trejo have like this long history of being like the actual guys on the inside that can tell you whether or not your movie is accurate about how actual prison life goes. Eddie Bunker wrote a book about his experience inside called The Animal Factory, which was later adapted into a movie directed by Steve Buscemi. And also starred Danny Trejo. So there's another reunion for you. Also, Eddie Bunker, as evidenced by the fact that he's in this, also did some acting roles, probably most notably as Mr. Blue in Reservoir Dogs. He's like the one guy on the team that kind of doesn't get anything to do, but he's given a name and a color.
Well, just big reunion with this movie, you know? Who is this director again? Alexander... Rockwell, yeah. Well, just rising tide lifts all boats with this guy.
I mean, I'm not even done with the connections here. So, so yeah, those two guys show up in a brief cameo. Also, they talk to a bartender in an earlier scene who was played by Michael Parks of previous episode North Sea Hijack. I talked about him. He's another Tarantino guy who shows up here.
Yeah.
Now, I failed to mention this earlier. So, Lenny is played by Daryl Mitchell. I don't know if that's a name that's familiar to you. So Daryl Mitchell, probably best known for his role in Galaxy Quest. What role does he play in that? What's the best way I can get around to describing what Daryl Mitchell's role in Galaxy Quest was? What main attributes?
Just say that he was the black guy.
He was the black guy. He was the one black guy in Galaxy Quest. Meaning it's another reunion because Sam Rockwell's also here. So there's that. Daryl Mitchell's involvement in this movie is basically all the proof I need to prove that this movie was released in 2002, but must have been shot several years before that.
Oh, yeah.
And then sat on the shelf for a while. It was released in 2002. In 2001, Daryl Mitchell was in a motorcycle accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh.
So the interesting footnote about that is that Daryl Mitchell has gone on to be a really inspiring advocate for handicappable actors because he kind of didn't miss a beat. He became paralyzed, and then within a year of the accident, he got a recurring role in the TV show Ed. And he has continued to act. He's in the Spike Lee film Inside Man. He's in like a bunch of other stuff. He continues to act. He just does it sitting down.
Oh, good for him.
It's cool. But this is like one of his last movies he made before the accident.
Oh, okay.
So, take that to the bank. There's a little bit of insider trivia here.
Wow. Well,
I think maybe now all of the reunions are done. I can't think of it, largely because I think we've introduced all the characters now.
I think so. Yeah. All right. Well, got all that done in like what, a 2-minute sprint there. Okay. So what happens there? Oh yeah, Peter Stormare goes to Sam Rockwell's strip club. He picks a fight with the bouncers, and
Sam Rockwell kicks his ass.
Sam Rockwell kicks his ass.
Steals his money. Steals the money that Buscemi gave him earlier.
Yep. Yeah, and then he's unconscious, so they put him into the back of the RV. He comes to again.
All of the black characters enter the bar, and Peter Stormare does some fun dialogue about that. That was a great 2 minutes of the fucking movie where he was just being like unquestionably racist.
Oh, I thought he was just being like a drunk asshole, but I didn't quite catch what he said.
He was being a drunk racist asshole.
Okay.
Like he looked directly at them and said, "Let's get some Roscoe's chicken and waffles."
Oh.
He wasn't being subtle about it.
Oh, okay.
Look, if you tuned out, I completely get it. Because it's 13 Moons.
Right.
I definitely tuned out in a bunch of this. So
I did, yeah. I nodded off, and when I came to, they were at Lenny's mansion.
I would say you missed a lot, but there's no plot to this. So yeah, eventually they all corner Stormare, and they're all like, "What do you need?" I think it's Lenny's like doing like the negotiations. All like, "What can we do to convince you to give Timmy your kidney?" And he basically says, "More drugs, more women, more booze, all the things that are bad for kidneys.
Yeah. So
give them to me now."
So they go. That's when they go to Lenny's mansion, which I guess there was a party going on the entire time that Lenny wasn't present for.
I think Lenny is just one of those rich people where there's always a party going on in his house, and he might be there, he might not be there. You know, the whole the whole Breaking Bad thing where Jesse constantly had parties going on in his house.
Oh, yeah.
Although, it's just say Lenny's parties are a lot classier than those parties.
Right, yeah.
Because he has money.
Yeah, and he's also got a lion. He's got
he
a
has a
room
lion.
dedicated to a full adult male lion.
Like he's the fucking Addams Family or some
Yeah.
shit like this. This is how you can tell this movie is fucking desperate, because it's like it's got all of these amazing character actors, a monkey and a lion,
yeah.
and yet none of that fucking matters.
Nope. There's another flash forward sequence, or no, this one's a definite flashback.
It's the same one though.
No, but
It
no,
isn't?
no, I'm talking about a different one.
Okay.
Where Peter Stormare, in like a brief moment of lucidity, takes a look at Sonata, whatever the fuck her name is.
Oh right.
And
yeah.
he says, I wonder what kind of mother you'd be. And then we see a flashback of hers where she recognizes Peter Stormare as a drunken
Santa.
Salvation Army Santa.
Because I guess this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
he just stole that.
Yeah, but she sees him as she's walking into an abortion clinic, and there's one really
Look, it's a really badly filmed scene. I think what happened is she's leaving an abortion clinic.
Yeah.
And then a protester stops her and like starts
Harasses her,
and Pierce Stormare weirdly comes to her defense a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or if he just decides to like assault a random person. But
he either did it out of the goodness of his heart,
it
or
worked out for her.
The man may as well have been like, I don't know, like a stop sign or something. He would have reacted the same.
But now we're implying that Slovo recognizes Sanandra as like this one woman who left a Planned Parenthood one time.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure he must have been blitzed out of his mind on something or other.
Sure, yeah.
But no, sure. I guess the movie is implying this. So we know several scenes before Lenny does that Sanandra has aborted the baby, because she really doesn't seem that into you, dude. You're missing all of the signs. It's just like Sanandra's journey through all of this, I think, is just like not dating Lenny anymore.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't seem like a great guy.
No, and he's
No one is nice, and they're all terrible. Except
Yeah.
I don't know.
The kid seems
the kid's nice. Sanandra seems okay. You know, Hillary Banks seems all right. These three need to get in a car and drive the fuck out of here, because everyone else in this movie is not great.
no, not at all.
So okay, the entire purpose of this movie. So like Mo gets like a page and says like, we found Slovo. Come bring Timmy back
Yeah.
to the mansion. We're at Lenny's place or whatever. And the entire plot of this movie has been trying to find Slovo so he can give him the kidney. At this point in time, Mo loses his shit and tries to murder Slovo, which would be working
Counterproductive
to
yeah.
saving his son's life. So they tie up Lenny with duct tape to Mo to a chair.
Yeah.
My question, why not just do that to Slovo?
I know.
If that's on the table, just tie him up and put a gag in his mouth.
Because it's somehow easier to deal with like a drunk bail bondsman than it is an insane Peter Stormare, I guess.
Except that proves several minutes later to not be the case.
Yeah.
When Slovo takes a dive off of the roof of Lenny's mansion. Well, okay, but before all of that, we gotta talk about one of the most insane things that happens in this movie: the pool scene.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! Like,
I mean,
we're all over the.
We're all over the place. But how do you talk about this movie in like an A to B to C point direction? It's so shambling and all over the place.
Yeah. So yeah, we mentioned that Bananas is so lovelorn for Hillary Banks that he
But also desperately wants to get his wife out of jail. It's like he wants both of them at
the
the
best
same
of both
time.
worlds. Yeah. And he seems like the kind of guy who can do it.
I can pull it off. If anything, I can convince them how to do it. Yeah.
His recurring line is that he would kill himself for her. And he tries to prove this by drowning himself in the pool, which Peter Dinklage says, like, no, there's got to be a better way.
Well, no, what Peter Dinklage says is you can't drown yourself
Yeah.
that way, because he's literally just dunking his head over the side.
And yet, there's this one moment where Steve Buscemi hallucinates the kid who told him to fuck off in the yeah, that was
Who I think is that weird kid from Even Stevens.
maybe
Kid with the weird face.
maybe
I don't know.
Go easy on. He's just a boy,
Is
Kaz.
it rude to say? But now he's an adult with a weird face, so now it's fine.
Peter Dinklage he won't drop the lesbian shit. At one point, the kid gets a gun and says, "Don't
Well,
hurt
he
my."
gets Mo's gun.
He gets Mo's gun.
Because Mo is pointing the gun at Slovo.
Yeah.
Everyone wrestles Mo away. Every character on screen is screaming at each other, and
Yeah.
it's music to my ears. And then Timmy gets the gun
Yeah.
and says, "Don't hurt my dad."
Yeah.
And they say, "We're not going to hurt your dad." And then they tie his dad to a chair.
Yeah.
And Timmy doesn't protest that.
Yeah. Yeah, Owen kind of takes it upon himself to be like, all right, like this boy's going to die if we don't kill that insane degenerate Peter Stormare.
So Owen gets the gun. Remember Owen?
Yeah.
That's a character we haven't talked about for a
Yeah.
while.
And Hilary Banks takes the gun and tosses it in the pool, says no killing.
And that's the end of that scene.
Yeah, that takes care of that.
Yeah.
That fly in that
Owen-
ointment.
Yeah, Owen is like, he's this priest who is
He's lost his faith.
crisis of conscience, but
Yeah.
he's also Pruitt Taylor Vince, so he's like a huge, hulking, intimidating guy.
Yeah.
And there's like this idea that he's like this sensitive man of the cloth, but there's whispers of like severe violence within him. Like
Yeah.
he lashes out at like a bunch of people a couple of times.
They say that he hears voices in his head.
he hears God talking to him.
Yeah, he's
and he-
convinced himself that he hears God and he can't hear God anymore. But all the other priests say, like, no, this guy might actually be a little screwy, and that's
Yeah.
why we kind of keep a close eye on him. It doesn't really go anywhere.
I mean, it kind of goes somewhere.
It has a conclusion. I'll say that.
The movie does conclude.
Yeah.
Shall we say this?
There is one really good line. Right.
You're a good clown, Bananas. You just stop caring about the kids.
And I thought, like,
Which
that
I would argue makes him a bad clown.
makes him a terrible clown,
Yes.
but I thought it was a very poignant line. That's,
In a movie that doesn't deserve it. But
no,
it's
no.
poignant because it's coming from a great actor.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that's why that line resonated with, because it was Peter Dinklage acting his heart out, or whoever said it, acting their heart
Yeah,
out. I
whoever-
don't fucking.
I don't know. I
remember.
don't remember who
I'm
said
not
what.
rewatching this. So yeah, Peter Stormare is in bed with one of the hookers. The line corners him in the side of the room. They realize that they don't have eyes on the kid. They look in the pool. They see a tiny body floating in the pool, and they go like, "Oh my God, Timmy fell in the pool." No,
Timmy's in the well!
No, it's Peter Dinklage who's doing a bit with Steve Buscemi.
Inexplicably out of nowhere, who has been nothing but morose and suicidal up until this point, and like vehemently against children, has seemingly off camera taken this opportunity to make Timmy smile.
Yes.
This is the only thing that these characters are doing. They're just cheering up Timmy, and they're swimming in the pool with him.
Yeah.
And yes, we see like a body in underwear floating in the pool. They jump into the pool, and it's Dinklage pretending to drown in his underwear.
And Steve Buscemi is dressed in like some scuba
Yeah,
frogman gear.
I mean,
I don't know where he got it. from.
I would buy that Lenny just has that lying around. Yeah.
I guess, but that's like tailor fit for Steve Buscemi. He's kind of a scrawny guy.
Yeah,
whatever.
Well, but compared to Peter Dinklage, he's the tall one.
Yeah.
See, it's all about
All
perspective.
relative.
So,
Buscemi-
so
yeah,
completely out of character. All of a sudden, Buscemi likes the kid.
Yeah,
now,
and he's
for no fucking reason.
And he's Scuba Steve, and he's showing Timmy.
he's
like,
literally Scuba Steve.
and he's
Hey.
like just playing around in the water, and then everyone jumps in the pool. And
Well,
is
okay.
it life full of majesty?
The one that gets the ball really rolling is Lenny has just had a heart-to-heart with Sanandra. Sanandra has basically said, like, I aborted your baby. I kind of don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
You're kind of the worst. And Lenny has had, like, seconds to digest all of this. When he sees this scene play out, he realizes, oh, like, this is it. This is the thing that's been missing from my life. I don't know how to swim. Bananas, teach me how to swim. And then he immediately takes off all of his clothing.
That's right.
This movie
yeah.
is shot so poorly that, like, I'm sure on the day, Daryl Mitchell's Johnson was just hanging out there for everyone to see, but this movie is so dark, I couldn't see anything. But yeah, he's completely...
No matter how hard you try.
No, I tried.
Yeah.
I reduced the tint. Anyway,
That's definitely one of those things where, like, on the night of the set, Timmy, just avert your eyes, turn around, get the kid off
Here's
set.
the thing. Here's the two things I want to point out. Number one, just the whole implication about the fact that Lenny doesn't know how to swim is just like a completely baseless and dumb stereotype about black people not knowing how to swim. Like that's just like one of like those weird racism nuggets that's like been kept around. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, there's no reason why black people wouldn't know how to swim. Everyone can learn to swim the same way.
I know a couple of white people that don't know how to swim.
There you go.
You could just be a grown man that doesn't know how to swim.
So there's that. But the two things I will say to that is, one, Lenny, why do you have a pool? If you don't know how to swim, why do you have a pool? It doesn't look like a particularly deep pool. You must have been in at some point in time. The other thing is, yes, indeed, he has taken off all of his clothes, to which I will say, Lenny, there's an unknown child in the pool right over there, and also you have his biological father tied up in your garden shed. A bad look, my dude.
Yeah.
Not a good look for you. But it's somewhat softened by the fact that now everyone gets in the pool.
Yeah, everyone have a good laugh.
Everyone has fun.
Yeah,
Let's just forget about the one naked man. Everyone's having fun now.
Yeah. The camera really lingers on Hillary Banks undressing, which
Sure. I mean, that was
Yeah.
that was
unnecessary, but okay.
but you
also
know,
necessary.
the next year that was his wife, so
Yeah.
I guess we knew what his motivation behind that
Yeah.
was.
Uh,
It is really gross because it's like everyone takes their stuff off. but
Everyone
then
jumps in, but
everyone-
she's the only one that's like,
she takes a
ba
minute
ba
to do
ba
it,
ba ba ba, because
And
she's
then-
a stripper.
and then Owen of all people says like, "And God created women," and I'm
Yeah.
just all like, "Shut up,
Ew.
dude!
Yeah.
Why did you say that? Why did you make it weird?
Yeah. Yeah.
Weirder
No,
than it currently is."
Peter Stormare makes it the weirdest of all because he's on the roof of the building.
He pulls
and
a Billy Crudup and goes, "I am a golden god."
and then he falls off the house and he's dead.
Well, he's not dead yet, but it's definitely speeding things up. He's definitely sped the process along. So yes, now they have to rush both Slovo to the hospital and also Timmy, who for inexplicable reasons has gone into shock. I guess seeing Slovo fall flat on his face caused him to go into remission or whatever. That's the word.
It could be anything. It could be a grown man dropping trow in front of him. It could have
That's
just been
probably
seeing,
what it was.
you know, Hillary Banks undressing in front of him. You know, whatever.
It was a combination of the three of
Too
them.
many-
It was-
overstimulated that kid.
Overstimulated. Yeah, they overstimulated the fuck out of this kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're right. Peter Stormare doesn't die because he says on the ambulance ride over, he says like, "I'm ready to die now." Tell the kid that Santa got him the kidney
And
or
then
whatever.
and then he dies in Hillary Banks' arms. I think he also says like, give him anything, give him whatever he wants,
Yeah.
give him.
Oh, also in that scene, again, the camera lingering on Hillary. What's her real name? Carrie.
Karen something or other. Karen Parsons.
Yes. The way that the camera is positioned, it's just a bird's eye view of Karen Parsons' cleavage over see Peter
Well,
Stormare's head.
it's not the director's fault that their cleavage just happened to be in the shot.
Mm.
He had to get the shot of Peter Stormare's face. That's why the cleavage was just there.
Why he chose to be on her lap. That's just the actor instinct in
Yeah,
him.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just taking it over. Just being, it's the maternal instinct of the women.
Yeah.
Jameson.
Right. But yeah, Peter Stormare, now he's dead. And the kid is on a dialysis.
They bring Peter Stormare's corpse to the hospital. They take up like one over. The doctor comes out and just goes like, "Yeah, that guy's toast.
Yeah,
like there's nothing left. Everything,
Woo, boy.
it's just goo in there.
I don't
Like
know
it's just nothing but goo."
Yeah.
I don't know why any of you thought this was a good idea. And then
Yeah.
someone says it was your idea. You had him initially.
Yeah.
And then the characters are realizing that the entire purpose of the movie is just a complete waste of time until, out of nowhere, Owen remembers that he happens to have the exact same rare blood type that Timmy
yeah.
has. Oh, yeah! That's right! I forgot about that.
Funny you should say that. Yeah.
It's almost like they needed a way to end this movie, and they
Yeah.
couldn't think of any other way, so
Although
it's just all like...
all the loose ends get tied up real fucking quick.
It's not like Owen wasn't privy to that information until that moment. It's not like the doctor was like talking. It's like, it's a shame. Slovo was the only one that had like O+2 negative blood or anything like that.
Wait a second. O+2?
Owen was in the previous scene. He knows what Timmy's deal is.
Mm-hmm.
He already knows. He has all the information he needs to make this decision.
Yeah.
And yet he's having a crisis of faith. And ultimately he comes to the realization that's like, spoiler alert, Owen donates his kidney to save Timmy and in the process dies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, did he only have one kidney? How did he die?
I don't quite know what this procedure is.
Yeah.
Like how it's lethal to the donor. It's like that intense of a situation. Like 9 times out of 10, they would prefer that the donors
Well,
be like,
I mean, it was
you know,
lethal.
insane drug addicts.
It was lethal to Peter Stormare because he was held together with scotch tape and glue at this point in time. But yeah, Owen seems perfectly healthy, but no, it's like they take the kidney out of him and then he goes into a metaphorical hot air balloon.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
all of the characters look up at and they're all like,
All the
oh.
Yeah, so all the characters are right. I mean, you brought up that the kid has like a yellow balloon with him. him at all times.
Yeah, I don't know
And then-
where he gets that.
I don't know, but at the end of no, he gets it from one of the clown
one of the
characters.
clowns. Well, that one makes sense. They're
Yeah.
clowns. They would have balloons.
And then at the end of the movie, I don't know, someone lets go of the balloon, it goes up the sky, and when people turn around, yeah, there's a big old hot air balloon, because metaphor.
yes,
And,
and we don't see that Owen's in it, but we're led to believe that Owen is on his way to
and
heaven.
the last shot is just a big yellow balloon CGI'd on the LA landscape.
And when I say all of the characters are looking up, I literally mean all the characters. Jennifer Beals is back. The other father from the prison is back. And they're all looking up.
the zookeeper and the monkey are looking up at the balloon
I
at the
know.
end of the movie.
The zookeeper gets the last line of the movie. He's all like, "What a crazy night."
Yeah.
Hey, monkey. Yeah.
Those sure were 13 moons.
Yeah, sure. We're 13 moons. And yes.
And then the movie ends with a misguided, I want to say, dedication to the victims of 9/11.
Yes. 3 personal friends of the director. It's dedicated to 3 personal friends of the director, Rockets Red Glare and 2 other people, and then
For good measure.
the victims of 9/11. Who I'm sure are thrilled
Yeah.
that you're dedicating this
Yeah,
movie
they're-
to them. And look, obviously,
What worse way to honor the memory?
obviously, as I've said multiple times, this movie came out in 2002, so like 9/11 had just happened.
Yep.
So like it was on everyone's mind. But no, this is a New York set movie. These are like the streets of New York that they're the shitty streets of New York. They
Yeah.
don't go to like Times Square or anything
Yeah.
like that. But like, no, it's a New York, I guess technically post 9/11 movie. Although I am certain the majority of this must have been shot before 9/11 happened and then released after 9/11, given that, as I pointed out, by this time, fucking Daryl Mitchell was in a wheelchair. So, like, so much must have happened in
Yeah.
between this movie getting released or not. But it's just like a noble sentiment, but also read the room. Take a look at the movie that you're making, man.
I understand what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
You know, never forget, Jesus Christ, at the same time, like, maybe pick how you are honoring their memories a little better.
All I'm saying is if you're going to dedicate your movie to someone, watch your movie first.
Yes.
And if it's terrible,
Yeah, would you want...
dedicate the next movie just to
Yeah.
that guy.
Would you want someone to dedicate this piece of trash in your memory? Yeah, would you be comfortable with that? Yeah.
God. All right. Out of the 87 plots that we just mentioned, is there? I mean, we didn't go into because there isn't really any resolution for any of the characters.
No,
There's a bit of okay. The most insane thing is that in the hospital at the very end, Lenny goes up to Bananas and Binky. He immediately stops being aggressive towards Binky and says, "You know what? I will let you produce. I'll work on a collaboration with you guys because Bananas, you taught me how to swim." And I'm immediately like, "He did?"
Yeah.
In like that, in like that 10 seconds that you all were like splashing around in the pool, Bananas taught you how to swim. Also, what collaboration are you going to make with a couple of street clowns? You're working.
You're a rap mogul,
Yes,
and these
you're
guys are like old
you're
vaudeville
like
clowns.
Dr. Dre, and they're like, I don't know what their equivalent is. Fucking Nardwar.
The
you know,
insane
it's like,
clown posse.
Yes. What possible collab could you do?
There's one other thing that we didn't mention was probably the only scene in the movie where Lenny shows any kind of humanity and kindness is when he's sitting next to Timmy, and he sees that Timmy's just sitting scared and he's alone in the hospital. And says like, "Oh, hospitals aren't so bad. You see this finger of mine? This used to belong to a legendary baseball player. Now his problem was that his finger wasn't long enough. My problem was my finger was too long. So we swapped fingers here at the hospital. And now his hand is right, and he was a major league pitcher, and I went on to be a successful music guy. So no reason to be scared."
It's just a silly story that he's telling a kid to make him feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a brief moment where Lenny is not necessarily an absolute shithead.
Yeah.
Speaking
so
of
maybe he would be a good dad. I don't know.
Speaking of Lenny and Timmy, there's another scene where Timmy goes to the bathroom and Lenny is waiting outside for him. And Timmy has all of this business in the bathroom where he takes like a cloth, he puts a bunch of soap on it, and then he like does something with it, and we never find out what that is. And Lenny the entire time is like knocking on the door. It's like, "Timmy, you all right?" And
I'll be out in a minute.
Timmy's like, "Yeah, sure." And he like moves the trash can back, and it's like, okay, this is gonna lead to something.
We're gonna
right?
see what happened. Like,
The only thing I could possibly think of is that it's been implied that Timmy has one kidney and it's not working so great. So like, I don't know, maybe he had an accident in his pants and he was cleaning it up. But again, I don't know because the movie didn't tell me that or
Nope.
show me that. I don't want to see the kid's mess, but it's all like, what is he doing? I have no clue what this character is doing.
Maybe he was scrubbing the floor. I don't know.
Yeah, he's OCD.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's 13 Moons.
I'm not going to ask our usual question at the end of this episode
Because,
because,
like, you know
yeah,
the
no,
answer.
it sounds like this one was pretty rough for both of us. Yeah, this is just it's an indecipherable film.
It's a mess.
It didn't look like it. What blows my mind is going through the history of this filmmaker and everyone he worked with and everyone who continues to work with him. He clearly is friends with all of these actors or these collaborators, otherwise they wouldn't keep coming back and making movies with them. He made like a movie immediately after this called St. John of Las Vegas that stars basically everyone here and also everyone else from his other movies. But like, you would be forgiven for not realizing that because every actor in this looks either bored or desperate to get out. But it's like, you read up on this and it's all like, no, they were all pals. They were all friends and they all enjoyed hanging out and making whatever the fuck this was.
Well, what endeared them to this project was just that, like, oh yeah, like this director's meant a lot to me. He gave me my first big break. Like, oh sure, I'll return the favor for that.
I guess
Like,
it has to be the idea. Like, I'm thinking from a Steve Buscemi perspective. Like, maybe like you have a run where you make Con Air, Armageddon,
and you want to do something
whatever.
a little more down to earth.
You've made all of these action blockbusters. all
Remember
like,
your indie roots.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like this is Steve Buscemi being all like, great, I'll hang out with Rockwell.
Yeah.
We'll do like a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah, relive our search for One-Eyed Jimmy days.
He'll film it on his fucking BlackBerry.
We'll make
or what-
something that's an artistic statement. That's something real. And this one's for the victims of 9/11. What could go wrong?
who I
Oh.
care very deeply about because I am Steve Buscemi. Yeah. Never watch this.
No. God,
and,
no.
and this is like one of the rare times where like, I guess we've gone through the plot synopsis. You could listen to this episode
Whoa.
and by the end of it have no idea what the plot of this movie. We just recounted it and I don't think I know what the plot of this was.
Yeah, there was a part where I was just like, I can't follow this anymore. I'm just going to write down bullet points of what happens. Like, there's a line in this movie. Peter Stormare's got a pink wig on. You know, like
I forgot all about that. Yeah, he has multiple wigs.
he's got a lot of wigs. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
sucked.
just it's miserable characters screaming at each other for like barely 80 minutes, and then it mercifully ends. It's a ton of actors that you like in other stuff, but guess what? Watch the other stuff. None of them are turning in like great work here.
No.
It's like, it's like Buscemi and Dinklage are great, but like they'd be great in anything.
This combination of them together should be revisited at some time in the
Sure.
future, or maybe they should have done like something a little, before. Like, they're both older now, so like,
Oh, yeah,
maybe
definitely.
the time has passed for that. Like, the fact that this is like the only time that they've ever collaborated on something with this clever an idea, where they're like vaudeville style clowns.
Give me any movie with Buscemi and Dinklage as a pair of mismatched clowns. Give me any movie other than literally this
Yes.
one, and I'm probably having a great time.
Agreed.
But unfortunately, this was not so great. And also, we did not...
Imagine how bad the first 12 Moons were if this is the one we got.
And on that was 13 Moons, directed by Alec. I'm gonna mispronounce his name one time. Alexander Rockwell of the 4 rooms. He is a numerical director. He makes 4 rooms, and then he makes 13 moons. You understand? Don't watch this. If you enjoyed this episode, though, thank you. You can listen to our back catalog of episodes on YouTube or Spotify. If you go further back into the back catalog, you will notice that the episodes are called "The Fuck Is This?" Don't worry about it. It's the same show.
This
Don't
is the
worry
same
about it.
show, baby.
It's the same show. We're just having some fun. We'd like to thank Eddie Lamb for his fantastic theme music. You can follow us on all the socials that aren't Nazi related. You can follow me on Letterboxd. I'm Kaz Lesgard.
Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube, where I used to post cartoons and stuff. It's called Uptown Slim Jim. And I'll leave you with this line from Steve Buscemi that he said in another movie. Do you think God lives in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
Oh, it makes you think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, how do you do, fellow kids?
And then one day we'll climb into a big yellow hot air balloon and we'll go up and we'll meet God, who is also played by Steve Buscemi. Good night, everyone.